But Hawthorn's forward line is damaging already. Know that Watson's going to be sat on by Perryman. So opportunity for tonight for Gunston. They are very good at moving the ball through the middle of the MCG. So that's where he certainly wants it coming in from.
Two captains in the middle. John Newcombe wins the toss, and you can see which way he is elected to go. The age-old question when you play Collingwood these days, what are you doing about Nick Dacos? Is it an opportunity for Finn McGuinness? How do you think it sits?
Oh, look, I think the thing with Nick is it's probably a team tag. Now, McGuinness might go with him, but he's so good at getting off the chain, and they're so good at putting him in positions to get the boys that, I mean, everyone has to be alert. If Nick's in your area, you've got to try and put a body on him. You've got to try and slow him down. But, I mean, you pencil him in for 25.
Yeah, I think it's a team tag. I think they've had good success against Nick Dacos. I mean, he hasn't destroyed them like he has other teams. So we just wait and see what unfolds there. But I think both these teams back themselves in. They've got their set structures. All the good teams go with what they know and what they own off the top and adjust from there. So if Nick gets out of control, they've got the perfect man to take control.
Perfect night here at the MCG. It's been a very warm autumn. They're expecting 70,000 plus in the house. Matt Hill is here beside me. Have a look at the ladder. The Hawks below Sydney and Fremantle on percentage. If the Hawks will win tonight, obviously they'd go to the top for a period of time. Collingwood, 4 wins, 3 losses. The Hawks lost their first game and have won their last 6. All set here at the MCG. Time to hand over to the #1 caller of sport in Australia, Matt Hill. Good evening to you, Hilly.
Howie, lovely to see you. And it's a big occasion, isn't it? Big crowd, 2 terrific clubs. Old rivals, and about to get underway as round 8 is about to kick off with a blockbuster. Thursday footy on Fox. Cameron and Reeves. Down it goes to go. He's going to have first access. He's taken to ground by Ward. Came out to Newcombe. Newcombe just with a darting ball towards half forward, and a crisp start to dig.
3 metres. Billy, that could be.
His 29th game of AFL competition. He's kicked a couple of goals this year. Kel Shadir forced to commit at this stage. No real lead coming. Very still night. Beautiful night for goal kicking. So from well outside the arc, he has kicked it right towards the goal mouth and eventually punched into the post for the first score.
Houston to reset things for the Pies. Newcombe with the first clearance. He had a couple early last week. Chance for a turnover. That's the speed of Watson. Ginnivan. Watson comes again. Good tackle. Moore holds him up. Under pressure, Collingwood early in defence with the speed of Watson. Dacos. Hand passes to a voice. Ward steps around the body. They might get out of it here. Collingwood back by hand. Now Perryman, who the real up and under, who's got the job on Watson. Standing underneath it, D'Ambrosio on a let off for the Pies early.
The pressure early here from the Hawks, trapping the ball inside their own 450. You can see Nick Watson, a lot's been made of his offensive game, but defensively stalking early.
Hawthorn coming in with 6 wins and 1 loss. Collingwood 4 wins and 3 loss. Cameron worked his way towards the front, tapped to the advantage of Houston, who had to be fast, just got rid of it in time. Ward then scooped it towards Nash, and eventually over.
Once again, it's Nick Watson there. You can just see he's stalking the Collingwood defence, seeing that as an opportunity for him to get involved in this game nice and early.
Reeves and Cameron set themselves in the Pies' defensive 50. Cameron was held to get the free kick. Steen and Cameron up against Reeves and Meek. A nice battle in the ruck department tonight. An early win for Darcy. Drops it down the line. Good long lead with Study. And a good second half last week against the Bombers.
Just waiting for a few more players forward of the ball. Kicks it long down the line. Hawks have the numbers here. Hardwick set himself out the back. Amon was able to gather under a little bit of pressure and then get him over the spread. And Weddle can leave defensive 50. So good movement here. Hawks press towards the near side wing. Deer receiving it off the boot of Lewis. Deer's kick. Now Pies have defensive numbers here. Houston Moore had it for a moment. Schultz traps it between the legs. Gunston grabs him, ball it up.
They just worked so hard, Hawthorn, to provide an option. Didn't quite work on that occasion, but they're spread across the field, challenging Collingwood immediately.
Hawthorn pressing early. You can hire them to go in.
And stand.
This is going to be the watch tonight. How quick Collingwood move the ball.
Not quick enough at that stage. Weddle gets an important hand and nullifies the contest.
And you can see there, immediately, no one really locking on to Nick Dacos. So he's going to get free rein early, and it's up to the little champ to try and take control.
Still side bottom on screen there. 16th on the AFL tally. Number of games played. Free kick to Big Ned Reeves. His 50th game tonight. TMP. Solid kick inside, attacking 50. Moore had a fair bit of it. Fell to Josh Dacos. Out the side to Perryman. Over clubs it to Crisp. He's hemmed in. Then he tries to handball it virtually to himself. Ward was there. Newcomb over the top. Nick Dacos with some soccer skills. Flick back to Watson. Ginnivan's little chip to Weddle.
He's clever, isn't he? Jack Ginnivan. He just assessed what was happening immediately. He saw Weddle just sneaking forward boundary side, and just in an instant, Watson again involved. Look at that. That's class.
So he was stymied last year, Josh Weddle, from injury. He's played all 7 games so far. Not the easiest of assignments. Towards the square. Moore goes the fist, just puts it in the danger zone though. Still gives the opposition some sort of a chance. Some sort of a chance for a goal off the boot of D'Ambrosio. Massimo with the first goal. Probably not on the bingo cards of many.
No, and it was opportunistic as well. There's a big pack off this shot from Weddle that went wayward. You can see the players there all lining up. Old school Jack in the pack there. The fish from Darcy Moore came out. And unfortunately, it was Roan Steele. You've got to know your opposition there. You've got to know that D'Ambrosio, he doesn't have a right foot at all. He will always go back onto the left there. Just made a poor decision, and D'Ambrosio finishes truly.
Yeah, I just think Darcy Moore had his time again. Perhaps not fist that back to where he has. Maybe try and get it through for a rush behind. So a calamity of errors down back from the Pies that you just don't normally see.
McKenzie pops over the ball, somehow gets it to Nash. He elects to just bash it forward. And it's going against Mitch Lewis.
Stand, thank you. Time.
That'll be a good battle. Lewis versus Frampton, both players in pretty good form at the moment.
So Frampton kicks into the congestion. Cameron set himself, couldn't quite. McGuinness had to Scrimshaw. The Hawks work it back towards Sicily. Oh, that's a little bit dangerous. Impey wanted to go right, but had to go left and has it at half-back.
5 inside 50s for the Hawks. Collingwood yet to go inside their attacking area. He's happy to flick it back to Sicily in those very fancy boots. Just hoofs it straight down the line. Houston comes in from the side. McDonald stands up in the tackle. Maynard. Chris needs to be slicked by hand, as was Josh Dacos. Maynard, now here's the first real look for the Pies. McStay looks to be moving well. On to Schultz, wants someone to come towards him, pokes it inside, and that someone is Jordan Agoe.
Yeah, how often do you see it? That corridor runner from Collingwood. Just follow the wing line, track up and down the ground. Agoe does it so well. Absolutely in his prime. A couple of years ago, he just put on masterclass after masterclass, that wing line run. Always an option.
Nice couple of hit-up leads from McStay on the overlapping wings. So Agoe, the goal 218 in his career. Pops it through as the number 2, and Collingwood respond.
So we saw Pendlebury doing it last week, just tracking up and down, almost a corridor runner. So if you are required, you're in a really aggressive position. You can see him there, right on the wing line. Very rarely does that player go wide of the logos unless they can get a possession unless they're absolutely in the chain. Look at him here. Assesses what's happening straight away, knows where the dangerous space is likely to be, and then just puts the burners on, stays in that pocket of space. So no other Hawthorn defender can get back to him. Doesn't alert them too early of the damage he's about to do, such as his experience. Well played, Pies. They knew he'd turn up at the right time.
So a goal apiece in front of a very busy MCG. The crowd have beaten the traffic, and now we're looking at 75,000-80,000 here tonight.
Long, Collingwood.
Now Long got a free kick, and then they paid advantage that he was pinged, so he's stiff. So Nash is going to transfer play.
Eye on.
Barris taking up the spine.
They're trying to outwork them here. They're trying to outrun them. They're fanning everywhere, the Hawks.
So McKenzie going to bring it to the opposite side now to Battle, and now Impey is going to spear one wide towards the pocket where Gunston takes the mark.
Obvious to see, as soon as they won that ball, they were looking for the big switch across half-back to try and make the ground as large as possible and challenge the Pie midfielders to run, and they couldn't.
Gunston averaging 4 goals a game at the moment, kicked 5-4 last week. He sits second in the Coleman on 24 behind 26, the lead of King. So Jack Gunston sends it on its way towards the square. It's not a bad attempt, and it again diffused.
That's a matchup. Darcy Moore versus Jack Gunston. Moore's an aggressive type of defender, so look, I think that suits Jack Gunston the way he likes to play. He wants back position.
Maynard looks to the members' wing. Buller gets front position. He was just worked up.
Run past the run.
Ginnivan tried to just perch it out towards McDonald's. Moore helping. Inboard now to McKenzie. McDonald's. Over the top they go. Lewis now off a standing start. Inside attacking. Fitted to Gunston at the back. Couldn't quite complete the mark. And a good spoil.
A great spoil. He actually took that out of bounds. He took the lot because Watson was getting there. Look at Reevesy. Look at him go, Jack.
Yeah, this is great. I reckon still look at him, thought I've got your number, and Reeves just a couple of big ones there. That's the turnover, and it goes coast to coast, and now it's a 450 stoppage. Watch Nick Watson here.
Meakin, Cameron. Perryman trying to stay, as does Lipinski on Watson. They got a couple. McDonald. Gunston. Moore gets the fist. There's a hold. It should go the way of Darcy Moore. So the Hawks have been fringed 3 times in their attack. 50.
Just watch this here. The Hawks are locking on straight away, trying to not give any uncontested marks. Make them kick the contest.
Exactly what Darcy Moore has to do. Battle, front position. Just overrunning it. It was Hayes. Now back to McKenzie. And the switch is on again.
So going from side to side, D'Ambrosio, the first goal kicker for the Hawks. He bumps it short to Moore. So just massage it around. And the first Irishman to reach 100 games for the Hawks.
Connor Nash. So careful they don't overcommit though on that switch defence and leave the corridor open. It was open there, just a missed opportunity.
So Nash towards the hot spot. Gunston caught behind, but it was the man that filled the hole in Lewis at the front.
Yeah, and he just had him for size and held him off like a big man should. Just physically imposed himself onto Maynard there. And it was a big versus a small in the end. A really good kick from Nash just to make it a one-on-one contest. Look at that. Just sheer physicality. In the end, Moore couldn't get there.
So an authoritative mark. Played 8 matches last year. Coming back from an ACL. Played all games this season so far, looking for his 12th and not to be.
Looks like Darcy Moore's the one with the lockdown matchup on Gunston, and they're rotating through Lewis and Deere. Maynard, Frampton, Quaynor's been caught deep as well, so a bit of chaos there, but Mitch Lewis is in good form at the moment.
Inside 50s, Hawthorn lead at 8-2, but inaccuracy plaguing the brown and gold early. Searching lead from Jack Buller.
Just no easy options. This is what Hawthorn have done really well so far, forcing this kick to go to a contest.
Again, it is a contest. Hardwick, a hard man to compete against, and kills the footy.
And it's not sexy, but it just is brilliant, really. Their defensive work to get there immediately. And the Pies have got through a couple of times, so fair play to them as well. But what they do behind the ball just stops teams in their tracks.
So Meek tried to just manufacture a pass through his legs. Lipinski tackles. It's a free kick.
Second action, stand, time.
So lull across the mighty G. That kick dangerous to Houston because it wasn't the required, and then Ginnivan wrapped him up.
Thank you, Jen. Brax, Lloyd.
Meek with a leap in the middle of the MCG. Crisp tries to get through the Mackenzie tackle. Quick hands from Parker. Lipinski, Houston, nice chain from the Pies. McStay, Barris, who's been in outstanding form, Big Tom. McStay presses on with a tackle. Steele. Battle and Barris there for the Hawks. McGuinness, sure about the legality of that, maybe just tapped it out of the air and it'll work out okay for Newcomb. And again, the switch is on.
So Newcomb's kick. It's a shallow kick though. So Schultz, it was the big steal. So from 55 metres out, he's looking for some options. He's given it to Lipinski right in the spine.
Could have gone there, Lipinski. And Meek there. Require a big mark now.
So gives the signal, tries to get it to McStay. De Goey on hands and knees, out to side bottom. His gather was okay. And then Steele pummels it back to Perryman, who fumbled it at a crucial stage. Off a standing start. Pies have some numbers here. McStay couldn't quite complete the mark. Round the corner for Hayes. It's a goal. It's a goal for Will Hayes, his third goal of the year.
Yeah, it's a really interesting battle. The one down there versus Tom Barras, Dan McStay. McStay really just has to make sure that he brings the ball to ground. He gets a good run here. Barras is out in front of him. This is the first option where he comes up. And the spoilers maybe. You've got to get back to the top of the square there if you're involved as a key forward. Always returning to the goal face, especially when you're the number one. A bit of a fumble here. But again, McStay just puts it up, gets the contest there, and then you've got to let your smalls get to work, and Hayes does exactly that. Great spot.
Well, the opportunity comes from the cut-off switch there from Schultz. You can see what Hawthorn are trying to do. As we said earlier, make the ground big, play it to the extremities, challenge Collingwood, particularly their midfield, to run. Great work there from Schultz.
3 inside 50, 2 goals. Good efficiency from the Pies.
Hawthorn.
Ruck infringement.
Stop. And stand. Come back on.
Goes the way of the Hawks against Steen. Lloyd just hoofs it forward. Deer in from the side. Keeping up for more. Through a boot at it. Infringed.
Stand. Move out. Move out. Bail. Stand. Bail.
And meanwhile, Perryman to Frampton, back to Perryman. Just runs into a little bit of a wall, so has to sky one, and Sicily's all over it. So can bring it back in towards Lewis.
Let's get some space, Jack. Lewis.
Yeah, and just at the moment, with the way the ball's being turned over, James Sicily there on young Will Hayes, we've seen still side bottoms headed to the bench with what looks to be a hand injury there. Ooh,
yeah, that right hand there, Jack, he got stomped on. He's just still in the hands of the doctor at the moment, getting that checked out.
Lewis has had a couple of looks already, been a little bit wayward.
Has a glance at the shot clock, he'll notice that the flags are limp. There's no breeze at ground level at all. Mitch Lewis from right on the arc. It's a nice looking kick, but to the right.
Clear. Clear the protected area. Outside.
Lewis comes in with a defensive spoil.
Just some numbers there, Isaac Quaynor. They're going to be so careful coming out of their own D50. They are smaller down back, so can they use their pace via hands? Geez, that is a sore hand right there.
It's got a bit of swelling in it.
Meek down towards Newcomb. McGuinness with an important touch. Somehow works it to Ginnivan. Tries to get away from to go. McKenzie creates a bit of space. Back to Nash. Good defensive pressure from the Pies, and they get their man.
A bit stiff there. Not to get hold of the ball. Really good chase, really good hunt. Great tackle.
So a tense start. Down it goes towards McKenzie. Round the corner he goes to Lewis, who's having a fair bit of it. And then just a casual sort of a chip towards Deere. Out the back, Gunston. Pies under the pump here. Ginnivan gathers inside the arc. Tries to get it to Weddle. Weddle only to Quaynor. He's driven it into the ground. Is it a free kick? It is a push in the back.
It's a hot footy. It's a hot footy. Good pressure from both teams. And then this game of cat and mouse here. No easy outs.
Parker's leading hard on the outer side. They circumvent him, and it's beautiful. Opens up the middle of the G. Frampton, can he access the middle? No, dishes out wide to Nick Dacos. Possession number 5. Work it down the Shane Warne wing. Hardwick with a late spoil.
Kick from Perriman was a ripper. It just shows you how organised Hawthorn are behind the ball, that you can't turn and go from that and explore something really adventurous.
I reckon that's broken, Kingy.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good, does it? Jack's had a few of those from mark attempts and moons from nightclub incidents, so you know.
Meek won it down only as far as Nick Dacos sends it in long. He'd be back with the flight. Schultz on a standing start. You betcha. Gives the Hawks coach something to think about. Lockie Schultz with the goal.
Yeah, another forward 50 crumb there as well. So a really good contest by Buller, who's come back into the side after starting the year coming across from the Sydney Swans. Just exposed the stoppage. You can see that huge hole at the back there. And the champ gets to the front. Ran McKenzie into the spot that he didn't want to go, and then ran to the spot he wanted to. Look at this here from Nick Dacos. Thank you very much. And puts it to the hot spot. The work's still got to be done. Buller empty flies from the front, which is really risky sometimes when you leave your man at ground level. And Schultz makes him pay.
So Craig McRae said in the pre-match, it's not about us taking 18 marks inside 50. It's about us denying them their intercept marking game to Hawthorn. Back 6, we are seeing that.
Great efficiency inside 50 for the Pies. Watson steamed through. Newcomb brought to ground. Nash throws his body back and gets the free.
Stand.
Watson just flashed through the screen. Impey. His former Port Adelaide teammate aim on. Punches it towards Gunston. Maynard does brilliantly. Gets a hand and a fist involved. Deere tried something fancy by hand. In the end, it ends up with Gunston. McKenzie back to Deere. D'Ambrosio kicked the only goal for the Hawks. Here comes Weddle. Move forward. Gunston in a dangerous area. Picks it up, Gunston. Newcomb, the skipper off one step, trying to straighten the Hawks up, and it's another miss.
They've won all 5 centre-bounce opportunities, the Hawks, so they're getting a good look. They just can't find a way home. 12 inside 50s for the 1 goal at this stage.
So, Josh Dacos just steady for the Pies. Long and strong to Houston. Less than 5 to go in the first term. Collingwood the last 3 goals to Goey. And Houston can wax off half back. An accurate kick to long. And Houston racks up the metres and racks up some possessions. Schultz back to Houston. So 4 possessions in a row. And then a beautiful kick to Anderson. Angry's got it 45 out.
So their wing, wide wing, so absolute boundary line attack by the Pies again. Catches Barris all the way up the field. So you can see him there stuck on the mark, so they know they've got a good look, because behind that they have to half cut the defenders because they haven't got their P defender, their prime defender in the spot they want. Great play from Houston.
The last pick in the 2025 national drafts out of the Sandford. from Sturt. Sends it on its way for a magnificent goal. And a real career highlight today for Angus Anderson on the back of that man's running.
King, it's this short possession game that's actually drawing this and pulling this Hawthorn defence apart. That man there, Dan Houston, get involved in chains. That's vintage Houston here for our Coles goal. But these short possessions, you can see they're playing the small handball game, opening it up, not blasting away, knowing that they don't have that key forward power down there. And these short kicks, in the end, draw these defenders up and create holes to get involved in. And Dan Houston here, excellent use inside 50. That little shimmy off the line where he's tracking sort of straight around the boundary, but all of a sudden here, shifts his hips, drives to the middle of the ground. We've already seen Jordan Ngoe get involved in the game that way. And now Anderson gets a goal similar.
Well, it draws Amon to cover Barris's man. It's really clever play.
See side bottom back on, guys, which is great news. That hand's clearly not landing.
Avoiding the high fives from his teammates on the way out. So keep an eye on that hand, Moons. Newcomb with another extraction from the middle on the back of the free against Long, the former Hawk himself. Amon on the 45. McDonald having quite the season.
See that stand rule there, 2 players stuck on the mark, no one knows who to move.
Spreads it to the outer side. Reeves brings it to ground. Battle from nowhere. And it is another miss for Hawthorn. 1 goal 6 from 14 entries to Collingwood's 5 entries, 4 goals straight.
Yes, Howie wasteful Hawks at the moment. Collingwood have been dead accurate. Maynard, Waynor.
And they go wide again, as wide as possible. Force the Hawks to trade up, to roll up the field.
Josh Dacos. Quainer. Then Long to 2-on-2. Schultz in the middle. And Buller at the side and out.
Just explain that, Kingy, why they're going wide.
So you can see them going wide. They're trying. The Hawks are guarding corridor. Collingwood's just taking wide, trying to play leapfrog, trying to outnumber them wide. Force Scrimshaw or Impey to come up and stand the mark, and then you get the mismatch in behind.
David King alongside Jack Rewalt, Matt Hill and Cam Mooney.
In the back, Newcomb. Stand pat.
Newcomb up for his 7th disposal to join McDonald. Houston with 8 for the Pies.
Stand pat.
Ward to Amon with that lovely long left foot. Gunston's behind more. Deere was running into the area. Gunston off the ground. He can do no wrong this season, Jack Gunston. Darcy Moore says it's touched. The umpire says I don't think so.
Well, it'll be reviewed upstairs, called a goal. And again, just that the length and speed of ball from Amon to get there quickly. I mean, just a little dart into the middle of the ground. And then he just drives that left leg into it. He gets over the back, gives Gunston the opportunity. First time, doesn't quite work. It's been huge, Newcomb, hasn't he? Threw a free kick on that occasion. He's in hot form.
This is where the play starts. Newcomb's been getting a lot of heavy work there. This handball here, as he slows down to go, as soon as it goes, but look at the pace that gets out the back. That throws Darcy Moore's positioning out of whack completely. So Moore's in a really good position for the previous one from Ward, but Ward gives the handball. We're still just checking it here for a touch, but as soon as that kick goes in there, or that handball goes in there, Moore's position is all wrong, and it looks like this is going to return back, so maybe it has been touched.
And Jack Gunston has taken the customary position on the bench after being the goal scorer. Guess what? It's a point. Get back on, Jack. It's a good effort, isn't it, to just get a touch on that.
Surprise, Braden Maynard.
It's a great effort. Little things go a long way to winning your games of football.
Makes a mess of the record, don't they?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Greg Swan's got some sweat beads on the forehead just dissipating.
So, a real 1%er there from Maynard. And he kicks it down the throat of Cameron. Inboard to Long. So called to play it on. To the congestion, swag of players, and there's going to be a free kick. It's going to the Hawks, completely taken out of the contest.
Yeah, Schultz just came straight in there, Hilly, and just completely took him out.
Tied him up, didn't he, Moons? He thought I could take him down.
Yeah, he thought I could just hold him, but Big Reezy fell over.
So Rees with the free kick. Pies have the numbers here, and Cameron has the mark.
Nothing worse than when you're ruck and you kick it down the line to your opposition ruckman.
I've got to say he's better kick it back to him.
A lot of players over this side of the ground.
You're not going to see anything adventurous, you wouldn't think, from the ruckman.
Just a minute and a half on the clock. Collingwood have kicked the last 4 after D'Ambrosio opened the scoring for the Hawks.
McStay is screaming at Buller to get over here and make it at least a 2-on-3 in the air.
Sicily front position. McStay does arrive. Watson hands and knees, just flicks it out. Schultz didn't have an option, so just happy to take it across the line.
That contest battle is so important as well that, I mean, if Collingwood do lose that in the contest there with the extra numbers and it gets to the outside, that's where Hawthorn will exploit them. They're circling the perimeter, waiting for that turnover to happen.
They've been inside 55 times, the Pies. They've got 4 goals.
Shallow throw in. Watson dispossessed. Long, wobbly ball towards half forward. Good spoil from Battle at the back. Then Nick Dacos found some space. Looping ball, hoping for Schultz. Cut off by Sicily. And now, through Battle and others, the Hawks can clear with the clearing kick down the line from Nash.
Dacos, Josh, front and centre, perfectly positioned. Frampton, up and under. Battle comes in from the side. McStay does well to spoil it. Watch an eye out for that hand for side bottom. To go, he's already kicked 1 for 5 in a row for the Pies. They can't miss. He's got 2 and Collingwood out to a game-high 17-point margin.
Oh, it's the same story again. Just get the ball to ground. Don't allow the Hawks to take intercept marks down in their defensive 50. They've taken 1 for the quarter in the defensive half, and then just manufacture from there. So good play on the counter punch. You just know at ground level they're going to arrive, they're going to turn up. So this looks like it's going to be a battle mark. But McStay just does enough, and then the numbers arrive. Hawks get caught trapped inside the contest, and to go, he sweats on it coming out and has the class to finish. This is coaching. Put it to the hot spot, get it to ground, go to work. Take Battle and Barras out of the game, and away we go.
Second highest rated man on the ground last week in the Anzac Day clash. Couple of goals already. Late in the first term here. Perryman tried to progress it forward. Cut off by Aim, and that kick doesn't go the required. So McDonald just forced a sky one. Underneath at Ward, Maynard. Another 1%er. Playing well. Deflects off the fist of Impey. Perryman taking a long time to pick himself up in back place. Sicily has the ball.
Hawks skipper back in, and him and his team have got some work to do. Hawthorn 15-7 on the inside 50s, but they've kicked 1 goal 7, and there's 7 entries. Collingwood at 5 goals straight in the last 5 goals of this match. Quarter time here at the MCG. Collingwood out by 17 points. Massive round of footy coming. A double-header tomorrow night. Fremantle take the long trip over to tackle on the injury-ravaged Dogs. That's only game 1 and 2 though, because there's a double-header. Adelaide, the showdown at the Adelaide Oval, number 59. So a feast of footy tomorrow night right here on your home of footy, which is Fox.
All right, there we go, folks. I tell you what, if you're a Collingwood supporter, you are certainly happy. It's 5 straight goals of Magpies, leading the Hawks 1-7-13. 17 points the margin here at quarter time at the MCG. Look, I tell you what, 5 scoring shots to 8. It's a pretty even game. Hey, Eddie G, I tell you what, if you had a little bit of a wager, Hawthorn came into this game at about a $1.22 favourites. The Magpies came in at just over $4. Can you believe it? That's because of all the outs and for the Pies and the ins for the Hawks. I tell you what, though, if the Hawks had been kicking straight, it could have been a different story. Hey, just for Eddie G and all the mighty Magpies support, let's have a look at the live ladder. This is the live ladder as it stands. A lot to play for both teams. Of course, if Hawthorn win tonight, they'll go top of the table. If Collingwood lose, they'll be right down here somewhere in, well, probably about 9th spot. But that is the live ladder at the moment. Collingwood in the top 4, Hawthorn 3rd and Magpies 4th if the game starts that way. that was the teams, the lineups. I just wanted to see the ins and outs. We had some big ins and big outs, of course. Coming in for Collingwood was Jack Butler, Will Parker, Ned Long, Darcy Moore. But have a look at the outs. Tim Membry, Scotty Pendlebury, Bo McCreary, Jeremy Howe. They were the outs for the Magpies. For the Hawks, coming in was James Sicily, Dylan Moore. Two big ins, Harry Morrison, Jack Dalton going out. There we go. Let me reload this up and we'll have a little bit of a squiz at the goal scorers out there on the ground at the moment. Frio's second. Tell you what, they're going all right. Jordan DeGoey, couple of beautiful goals there. Great to see him on target. Two straight goals. Lockie Schultz, William Hayes, and Angus Anderson. A little bit like Angry Anderson. Geez, I tell you what, he's a star in the making, Angus Anderson. Very not really talked about, but a great player for the Pies. With singles, of course, for Hawthorn, Massimo D'Ambrosio, the only goal scorer for Hawthorn, of course, the first goal scorer out on the ground. Leading possession getters, well, I tell you what, it's been a pretty even game, even contested game out there today. Hawthorn did put the pressure rating. They had up to about 185, Magpies to about 150. They need to lift in that area of the game, but the disposal getter, Connor McDonald, for Hawthorn, tops the table for them, 4 kicks, 4 handballs, a clearance, and Dan Houston, Jordan DeGoey, both with 8 disposals apiece. Of course, Jordan DeGoey, 2 goals off of that as well. Jai Newcomb, next best for the Hawks, on 7. Then a host of Magpies with Braden Maynard, Ned Long, Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, all on 7 disposals up until quarter time. Jack Ginnivan getting a little bit of a ball in the opening term. He had 6 touches, 2 kicks, 4 handballs. Who else we got down there? Lockie Schultz looking lively out there tonight for the Maggies. 4 disposals, 3 kicks, handball and a goal. Dylan Moore, he come back in the squad for the Hawks. 4 touches, 2 and 2 he's had. Let's keep on rolling down. There we go. You can have a little bit of a peekaboo at your plays. Jack Gunston, there we go. 3 disposals, 2 kicks, 1 handball. Look, he came straight off the ground when he thought he kicked a goal, but it was touched. They went to the arc and it was touched. So maybe he should have stayed out on the ground. Hey, let's just have a quick peekaboo at the team stats. There we go, as I said. It's pretty tight. 93-89, plus 4 to the Magpies disposals. The interesting part, though, folks, is the inside 50s. The inside 50s. Magpies have been inside forward 50 only 7 times. So the Hawks doing really well, preventing the Magpies going inside their forward 50. 7 times for 5 straight goals. Hawthorn, they've been inside forward 50 15 times, so they're getting plenty of action in there for their 8 scoring shots. If we look at the efficiency inside 50, 85% of the Magpies, that's sensational. Of course, 5 straight goals from the 7 entries. Disposal efficiency around the ground, pretty good for both teams, 76 and 74. The clearances, Hawks absolutely dominating. They are dominating with a capital D, especially the centre clearances. 7-0. Hawthorn, they've won all centre clearances, 7-0. There we go. And, of course, the Magpies, they're +2 in around the ground. Contested possessions, well, the Hawks, as I said, though, a little bit harder. Contesting well, they're +8 after the quarter time. Just looking at the marks inside forward 50, both teams hitting targets. A couple to the Magpies, since they've only been in there 7 times, and 4 to the Hawks. Just looking at want to have a look at the tackle count. This is super low. I know there's pressure acts, but gee whiz, they need to lift their tackle count, both teams here. When this loads up. Come on, load back up. 9 to 10, Hawks +1 in the tackle. They're 2 to zip inside forward, 50 tackles, but the tackle count for both teams, they really need to get up and about and put a little bit more pressure on their team. Anyway, that's enough for me. Quarter time's been done. We're about to head back down to the action for the second quarter. The bounce of the ball. Go Pies.
And it's resulted in 1 goal 7.
Yeah, not everything's perfect for Collingwood. I mean, they have a 17-point lead. They've been inside 50 7 times. They've had a remarkable return when they've gone in. But out of the middle, 7-0, the centre bounce clearances in favour of the Hawks. They need to lift from their midfield, including the little champ.
Thursday night footy on Fox, brought to you by HBF. Here's Matt Hill.
So after Massimo D'Ambrosio's first goal, it was 5 on the bounce for the Pies as we kick off the second term. McKenzie with the first touch. He's taken in a good tackle. Lipinski gathers. DeGoey then pummels it towards Elliott. He couldn't complete the mark, but he's going to get an arm chop.
It's the first centre bounce that Collingwood have been able to win.
Well, he's just a bit slow, Ward, wasn't he? He had to fire that handball and keep the chain in flow. He can't believe it, Harvey. I wouldn't complain anymore.
Elliott to Maynard from 48. It's a long kick. Maynard on fire tonight. And the Pies with their 6th.
Oh, this is big. This is big. So many players being managed. A couple out through injury. Pendlebury was clearly best on ground last week, 5 days ago. And just here, you could just see, he had to fire that handball, McKenzie, was it? Just there. They were in flow and they were gone. As soon as the turnover eventuated, Pies off to the races. Arm chop, Jack?
It's dubious. But you give away a free kick like that, you can't fall asleep and allow Maynard to run past and have a shot. So
6 goals, 8 inside 50.
yeah, ridiculous. The one there, you can see Hawthorn asleep, arguing with the umpire. Maynard a lovely long left foot shot.
Extraordinary efficiency. They'll get another one out of the middle now too. Dacos combines with DeGoey. Anderson back to DeGoey. Spits it out wide. Unstoppable at the moment. The Pies. Every time they go in, they're scoring. Pies fans 150.
Lucky.
Oscar Steen having damage in the middle in that centre bounce. Started this second quarter there.
Hayes. McStay's in great position here. Gets to the front. Sicily delays the hand pass. Mitch Lewis. Now D'Ambrosio. That's a beautiful kick out. It's Ginnivan. Some boos for the Collingwood Premiership player who's now in the team's jump that he grew up supporting Hawthorn.
So he kicks wider. Gunston couldn't quite. Frampton went down hard. McKenzie.
That's it, Jack.
McKenzie. Onto the right. Only one man inside 50, and that's Weddle.
He's hurt, Moons.
Yeah, that's the whole one. You just don't want to be sitting under that high ball, do you? You boys would have got a good advantage there. That would have right in the middle of the back. That hurt.
The veterans know too, Moons. Don't worry.
Just step out of the way there.
You can see the frustration on Gunston, Jack Ginnivan, sorry. He was the one that wanted to move the ball fast, got held up. Then fortuitously, they got it through the contest to this man.
So they're craving some accuracy here, the Hawks, as Weddle's kick is off the side of the boot. It'll be lucky to score. It does just score.
He's a threat, isn't he, down there? There's the knee right into the lower back of Frampton. Oh.
It's good technique by Jack Gunston for all the young key forwards. That's how you jump in a contest.
1 goal 8 to 6 straight. To go, Collingwood with all the momentum down the line to Elliott.
This wide play is taking hold.
It's drawing this Hawks defence up. You see Blake Hardwick's on the mark here at the wing.
Now he can attack Elliott, who gets himself into a bit of trouble. It's a wild-eyed hand pass. Works out okay to Perryman, who gives it back to Jack Crisp, who is playing his 270th consecutive game. Down the line, there's holding.
Yeah.
Might go the way of Big Lloyd.
Yeah, good positioning there, Meek. So now they've adjusted Hawthorn. Guard boundary side. You know where... It's Lloyd's kick, I think. Sister's trying to outrank him.
So, Meek. Long ball, high ball, up they go. Deere went to the front, fell to Houston. Josh Dacos pummels the handball to Anderson. Slipped over but sold some candy at the same time. It was clever. Kick off the side of the boot. Goes wide. Bouncing ball. Side bottom. Just managed to keep it in the possession of the Pies. Nick Dacos with so much class. Picks up the football and heads towards the pockets. McStay has been able to grasp it.
How good was that from Nick Dacos? Thought he was going to get it to Jamie. We'll have a look to see whether it was a mark or not. He might have bobbled it over the line.
Did you see a jump mark at all? I thought it was controlled before crossing the line. Control crossing the line. And it's right.
Yeah. So does the review involve touched?
Oh, kicking it pretty quickly, though.
Tom Barris certainly was trying to get that called for. Anyway, McStay comes in and misses. First blemish for the Pies.
Great kick by Dacos.
17-point quarter-time lead. Collingwood's worked it out to a 23-point margin with the only goal that turned through Maynard, his first of the season. Weddle.
He becomes a weapon, doesn't he?
Missed a couple. Impey. Oh, battle just missed Impey on the overrun. It's not quite clicking for the Hawks.
You just sense a little bit of panic at the moment from Hawthorn. They know it's not the way they want to play. I saw Ginnivan with the ball in hand before, just urging his teammates to move for him. A little mishap there as well.
10th touch for Houston. Down towards half forward. Goes to ground. Hawks win the football through Sicily. Over the top of McKenzie, but Ginnivan was there to mop up. Back to Sicily. And now he's going to spread to a couple of Hawks, including D'Ambrosio. And now further afield to Moore. And they build something up here. Over the top, Hardwick. D'Ambrosio. Ward. McKenzie in the middle. Now towards half forward. Ginnivan in from the side. Fell to Watson. Beats one and beats two. Goes back to Ward from a standing start. Inside attacking 50 in the Moore direction. Cut off by Crisp.
Poor decision. Like a really, really poor decision. And players on to come back out onto the wing, half forward. Kicked it straight to the Collingwood defence there. It wasn't Crisp, it was going to be more.
Disposal for Nick Dacos. To go, he's had 12. Collingwood spread down the outer side. A bit of confusion, but they work it out. Good mark taken by Steele.
Love the work of Jordan De Goey. He's just dragged battle out of the back six.
Houston, there's De Goey again. Pumps it forward. McStay's been good in the air. He's got two to beat. Look towards the umpire who said play on. D'Ambrosio looks for the line. Hurries the ball out of defence. 2 on 2. Good contest. Watson outside. As always, ground level. Slung off it was Watson. Now McGuinness gets above the tackle to D'Ambrosio. Further progress by hand. Moore steps back in. Still no room for the Hawks.
Yes, it's labour intensive. McDonald over the top. And then it was Moore on Watson.
He had to go, Watson. It's probably a bit of a David versus Goliath.
Watson tries to get it to McGuinness. What about Maynard? Tried to fist it along the ground. Didn't have a lot of support there, and eventually down the throat of Ginnivan from McDonald. So there's cheers around the G, and then negating cheers around the G for Jack.
I like this. Someone needs to take responsibility. 1 goal late. Why wouldn't it be Jack Ginnivan to say, okay, we need to steady the ship. It's my time.
What does he do here if he kicks a king?
Just a little look to the pocket there, yeah. A little something special.
So it could be a big moment. Jack Ginnivan to lift his Hawks against the old side to get the emotion, to get the blood flowing. Jack lifts them. A Coles goal for Jack Ginnivan at the G.
I love that. I can't speak highly enough of what this takes. The pressure that he wants to absorb. He wants this moment. Yep, we're 1 goal late. Give it to me. I want the ball. He had an option early when he takes this mark. You can see he could have turned and chipped the ball to Jack Gunston over the top. There was teasing distance there, but he said, no, I'll back myself in to steady the ship. Just here. He takes the mark. Now, he could have chipped that over the top to Gunston, but he backed himself in and he delivered like all class players do.
Career high numbers this year for the number 33. Special jumper at Hawthorn, formerly worn by Cyril Rioli, so it's got some heritage. And the Hawks bring it back to a 17-point margin, and finally some straight kicking. Meek jumps right at Cameron, who stays down. Got the clearance and the free kick. Take your pick.
Go back round. Go back. No. Back round on your line.
No.
Bail.
Quaynor
Bail.
takes the ground afforded to him. McStay will come from the back. Barris with a big fist. towards the line. McGuinness will be under pressure from Steele. Keeps the ball in as well, not to run out of room. Ward. Hardwick. It's out of bounds, but inside the arc.
It's a great handball. Another metre further, and it's a free kick to the Pies. Good battle. Good game of chess, this, from the coaches' boxes. Sam getting frustrated.
Throw in. On the ground, Dacos is able to pick it up. Popped it up to Ward, and now Eamon can run laterally and try and inject some speed here. Moore went to ground. Maynard grabbed him, and the umpire wants it.
Paid the price for a poor handball there. Was out through the middle. Eamon needed hit more, and he was gone. 3v3 inside 50.
Meek controls it out of the ruck and wobbles it forward. Frampton back on that ground after knee from Gunston. Waits. Watson hovers. Watson still hovers. They get it away from him. Amon attacks it too much on the hand pass again. Collingwood set across the line in the form of Roan Steele.
Spoke about the pressure at quarter time. The Hawks have gone backwards again. 1:28 to start this second quarter. A reminder, they average 184, best pressure team in the competition.
Cameron held his ground. Anderson, a couple of toe pokes along the ground, holds onto the football, then they grab him. Nash at him and beat his head.
He's a bit stiff, isn't he? Didn't have a lot of time trying to win the ball.
So Connor Nash earns himself the free kick. And then pedals inside 50. Ginnivan waiting at the flight. Lewis Frampton, good defensive mark.
Good year, Billy Frampton. Quaynor got the runner. And the Iron Man Chris in front of Weddle.
Look at Quaynor go. Great run. He didn't get the ball, but he opened up a pocket of space for Lipinski there.
Long. Nash needs to be careful on the mark. Wasn't careful on the mark. You could see it coming. Long streams forward. Plays on. 100-metre play. Drives it deep. Collingwood with the answers. Coming back with a fly. Looks to be Buller. Could see that infringement coming in real time.
Yeah, the urgency, just to understand, as soon as the 50 metres was paid, he took off net long. It was like a sprint, a 50-metre sprint. He knew that he could access the back of the Hawthorn defence, and Buller was in perfect position. A 100-metre play, as you called it, Howie.
In 9 games, kicked 11 goals for the Swans, which is his career total, so hasn't kicked a goal for Collingwood. To get it back out to a nice margin. Slide angle, Buller, first goal for the Pies. His teammates know it. Black and white jumpers scream from everywhere to get around Jack. It's back out to a 23-point margin.
So good. That's one of the great features of our game. The enthusiasm, the energy that a first goal for a new football club provides. And just great positioning there in the end, but you just see what Nash was trying to do. He was trying to hold him up just enough, just tugged one too many times on the back of that jumper, that arm from Long, and he played it really well. Got there quickly, didn't let the defence get organised, no defensive assistance, stuck them one-on-one, and Scrimshaw just got beaten by a strong body.
Comment on Isaac Quaynor and his run king. Yeah, I think that's a really important, selfless act. You see, he was the one that runs wide and creates the ball to come back through the middle where that 50-metre penalty is paid. And I mean, you can see Sam Mitchell, he is frustrated at the moment.
2 goals to 1 from the Pies in this second stanza. Reeves won it down. Newcomb, he's grabbed. Houston trying to scrap the football away. There'll be a ball up. So it goes again. Cameron won it down towards Nick Dacos, and Long with the toe peg. Bit of a chaos ball in the end. Sicily did it pretty well. Nash D'Ambrosio through the centre, now Impey. Ward running laterally. Has to be quick. Schultz was bearing down on him. Floats it out to Moore. Now just a little hemmed in as they think it through. Eamon.
Gee, that's good defensive play from Collingwood. Absolutely stopped them in their tracks.
Wobbling delivery from Amon, but it works out to Sicily. He pierces the ball inside 50. And good work by Big Ned. The 210-centimetre unit marks directly in front.
They tend to take a vision, the big boys, inside forward. I reckon Sicily looked up and thought, have a look at the size of him. That's where I'm going. And bypassed all the junk out wide and said, see if you can mark this big boy.
Well, he's the tallest player to ever play for the Hawks. He's got 4 centimetres past Big Maxie Bailey. But can they get some accuracy? Peter McKenna watching on. Knew a lot about this type from directly in front. Ned likes it to number 7. 2 goals apiece for the turn.
I think Ben Hudson will be pretty happy about that one too, Howie. One of the great Tasmanian goal kickers of all time. That is a really nice finish there from Ned Reeves. You can see that switch again. So the Collingwood defence fold back and stop Hawthorn in their tracks here. But 2 elite kickers create the play here. The long switch to the middle there, and then the vision and execution by James Sicily. He identifies the matchup that he wants to kick to. There was a couple of options on, and good solid hands by Ned Reeves, who's having a fantastic start to this season for Hawthorn.
Just the speed in which Sicily's kicks get there. I mean, that just pierces through the air. Just a sweet timer of the ball. I think he was going for Cal Shadir. Reeves takes the big mark.
Silver boots are boding well. Kingy tonight for James Sicily.
So special occasion for Ned Reeves, his 50th to kick a goal. In the middle, the big O in Oscar Steen. Reeves down to Newcomb. Newcomb controlled the ball, giving ground though. Impey out to Battle. And Battle skies one. Moore tried to defuse it at the fist. Weddle just outpointed by Crisp. Ball just wobbles back in towards the middle of the ground. It's there to be won. Clever little soccer tap from Long. Tried to get it to Lipinski. Was cut off by Lewis. Long with a second attempt. He's grabbed by Hardwick, who's so tough in the clinches. Hard ball to win that one. The ball up.
He took it up there.
Trying to get his hands above the tackle, so Hardwick did well in that situation. Nash, nice little step. End over end punt forward. Frampton in good position, doing a nice job. Here's Billy. Squeezes it forward. Allen, the leg spinner. Parker, I should say, down the line. McStay, another good mark on Sicily. Not an easy thing to do.
Hang on. Bring it back.
It's silly by shorts.
Yeah, no, reset.
Sicily went down maybe a little bit easy, but
Come around, Dan.
it's a really good look for Collingwood now. There's so many numbers back in their D50.
Climb on. Look out.
Big leading lane.
A lot of shepherding going on in the goal square. And floating across is D'Ambrosio.
So, as they've been doing, they've been going back and forth side by side here, the Hawks, and Impey has it in the opposite pockets. Back to Battle. So they're hemmed in here at the moment, the Hawks. And they're just going to massage it short to Eamon. They haven't gone really that distance fast. Out wide they go to Newcomb. So
The ground really big though. This is the thing, they're trying to split them open so they can come through the middle like this.
So Eamon now this is an interesting kick. D'Ambrosio, McStay, the taller man, couldn't quite mark it. Fell to D'Ambrosio, gets a second chance. Then he dropped his lollies. Coming through was Nash. He got a kick away in time. McGuinness, he's grabbed as well and taken high. So the Hawks get away with it.
Pies fans not happy in a full MCG on a beautiful warm autumn Thursday. McGuinness, the recipient. Oh, Reeves takes a tumble. He'll get it free. And Pies fans will be irate.
I think that one's there. I mean, Steen just makes early contact, and Reevesy says, well, I'm going to make sure you see it. Just early body work. It's just enough. I know it's soft, but it's there. If you're a Hawks fan, it's definitely there. If you're a Pies fan, you're kidding. That's not a free. It's one of those ones.
So Reeves has already kicked one. The last goal for the Hawks from a set shot. With Peter Hudson and Peter McKenna looking on. Can Ned do it again? He leans back and Collingwood fans are pretty happy with the result. Nice bit of spice here at the MCG.
Good to see Ned Reeves challenging though the Collingwood rucks and getting forward. 200 plus centimetres. He's a damaging option for Hawthorn for that long kick.
Plenty of theatre here at the G on a Thursday night as Houston kicks to the contest. Cecily had a fair bit of it, batted forward. Long, scooped it up. Dacos to Dacos. How clever was that? Then further afield, and then Steeney's coughed it up straight to the opponent in Cecily. McDonald's through the middle, Newcomb at MP. And then darts one in the Lewis direction. The spoil from Frampton was good. Parker got it to Lipinski, and they mop it up through Crisp.
Just waited on that one there. Mitch Lewis needed to come back at the ball.
I'll tell you what they have to do. They've covered Jack Gunston really well. Folded back into his leading space. A non-factor at the moment.
Gutsy ball from Dacos. Newcomb brings it to ground. McDonald, bit of will-o'-the-wisp work. Now to McKenzie. Forward hand pass chain that the Swans do so well. Not so good though. Moore, they've turned it over. Crisp sends it inside. 50 right on his own. His ball again. Frustrations for the Hawks coach. And Buller gets a chance to kick his second in black and white.
Yeah, we've seen poor possession, but how good is that spoil there from Billy Frampton? He's having some sort of game.
They play on and miss to the near side. Dan Houston.
See, they're making some errors, the Hawks, aren't they, by hand? I mean, they're just basic skill errors. 3-4 metre handballs missing the target. Pulling play on.
He called to play on. He can't hear it. The man on the mark can't hear it either. Ginnivan.
What, because he didn't play on?
Oh, Ginnivan's kick. It's wobbly, but it'll do. McGuinness. Watson. Oh, spun his way out of trouble. Clever to Ginnivan. Now he's in trouble. And holding it.
That was an elite spin by Watson, but he sold Ginnivan.
Completely sold him into it.
So Schultz comes up with the free kick, and then his kick towards Anderson. Fists it to himself, tries to control it. Newcomb grabs him, so does Nash. Ball it up.
Wow, it's on right now. 17-point margin. Next goal, absolutely huge. 4 minutes prior to half-time. It's lifted.
Meek butters up his own work. Collingwood by 17 at quarter time. They got out to 23. It's 2 goals apiece.
Sense that the game's starting to open up a little bit, so Hawthorn's ball use critical to them scoring now.
Long. Nash, couple of big bodies on the footy. Oh. And it goes away, Nash.
See, that's unlucky. I mean, there's not a lot of prior opportunity there, is there? It's a tough one. It's one of those 50-50 calls that I'm sure the Pies fans feel are going against them.
Impey squeezed by a couple of Pies. Mitch Lewis in good position. Meek comes in, spoils the whole lot. Does well at ground level. Ginnivan to Deer, running back with a flight. Can't quite control it, and the Pies take care of business.
That was good protection there from Jack Crisp. He was the winger that came in on the fat side of the ground to cover the back. Otherwise, Cowshadir's running in an open goal.
So a tense contest here at the G. 75 to 80,000 in the house. Houston to Perryman. 3.5 left in this intriguing first half, where it's 2 goals apiece in the second quarter. McStay outpointed by Battle. Gives a little bit of ground to Heyman.
That's their 5th intercept mark. Number 1 intercept team in the competition, the Hawks, not denied.
And the line to Impey.
Play on, you set.
12 disposals for Impey. He's had a busy night so far. Takes on the man on the mark. And then just belts it long. Deer with 3 to beat. At the back. Watson's there. Watson gathers. Watson near goal. Watson with some hocus pocus from the Wizard. Nick Watson. What a star.
Well, you get your positioning wrong on this guy and you lose contained. It's game over. Drop with the ball. This is where he does his damage. 18 goals coming into tonight, 8 of those from crumbs. He sets you up. He sets you up lateral and comes at speed. And here he is. Let's just watch forward craft at its best. He just finds a way to time his run and hit it with speed. So here he is here, top of the 50. You can see him just setting up Maynard. He knows where he wants to end up. He doesn't want to get there too early. So let's wait, let's hold. Okay, lull him in all false sense, and then gone. So 3 steps, it's over. In the end, you get one chance to stick the tackle, but the little man had done the work early. You can't snooze on Watson.
Talk about forward craft there, but what was Brainerd made up? I think he turned his back to arguably the best small forward in the competition.
Hawks have kicked 3 of the last 4 to bring themselves back into it. Approaching half-time, Newcomb. Kick smothered, it's an important smother. Can the Pies respond? Cameron, they send it back the other way. Nick Dacos is magnificent. That was centimetre perfect, to quote the great man.
What about the smother? I mean, smothers are huge.
They play on. He's had 1 opportunity, Houston. He's had 2 they've given him.
It's amazing what a smother does. Straight back the other way. It was Houston that did it.
Well, we built up the entertainers, didn't we, before the match, and they're showing their wares on the G tonight. Sicily with less than 2 to play in the first half.
Just get the sense the Hawks are starting to exploit the Pies, opening them right up, spreading the ground big.
Hawks 3 goals to 2 in this second quarter. Real pack. Moore just couldn't quite rake it in with that right hand. Houston taken by Deer to ground.
Now, in saying that though, Jack, the Pies have worked out a way to get through. They've worked out a way to play wide, play smart.
He kicked 6 in a row, the Pies. Hawthorn 3 of the last 4, pressing again. Weddle missed a couple of opportunities in front of goal. On the left, just shins it forward. That doesn't help Gunston, and Maynard, who's having a night and has kicked a goal, takes a good strong chest mark on a big strong chest, it must be said.
He's been caught on Jack Gunston a bit. Braden Maynard swapping between Darcy Moore, playing him very well out front.
That's a good strong mark in the front of the pack. Barris in front of 100 players takes a beautiful mark.
Weddle's the threat. Weddle looks like he's the one that's going to rear up in the goal square. His wingman sliding in.
So Barris, it's going to be a high speculator. Who to really? Plenty of Hawks there. Quaynor high down in the foreground. Cameron went down hard. Came out to McDonald, to Gunston. Gunston, this is going to be something miraculous. Skies one. Deer just couldn't quite mark it, and eventually it's going to be a throw in.
Oh, this
He
is
run at it, didn't he?
and this is where Watson looks for blocks. So team first against Watson. They come in, midfielders block, see if he can pinch him a metre or 2. It looks like Weddle trying to fight. Quaynor's all over it, but watch him still get a block or 2.
So Weddle looked for the block, and he gets a little bit of space on Quaynor. He's running free, there's a hole. And he's going the way of Hawthorn, who, if they kick this, will be only 5 points down.
Well, the Watson work was unbelievable. In the end, it took 3 Pies to defeat him.
This has been a great battle so far. It's been Long versus Newcomb at stoppage. There it is. Got him above the neck. There's no arguments there.
And the man from Poowong only missed 5 games since he was a mid-season draftee out of Box Hill in 2021. Caught the current coach's eye. For 3 in a row for Hawthorn. And somehow they're within 5 points.
Well, you just know what's coming. Every team plans for and scouts what's coming their way, Jack. But I just, even though he didn't get the ball, let's appreciate what Watson does here. So Quaynor does a great job. First block from Weddle, second block from Ginnivan. Then Dacos locks on. 3 players engaged in trying to get to him. Oh, I just love the planning from Collingwood. It didn't work from a Hawthorn point of view, but gee, it's a threat.
So it didn't work, Kingy, but movement creates opportunities, and you've got every player on Nick Watson alert there. Ned Long's left on an island against arguably one of the best stoppage players in the competition, and John Newcomb gives away a free kick. Such good forward craft there, and good stoppage craft from Newcomb as well. No Nick Watson at this centre bounce. I'd have him in there for sure.
So 4 goals to 2 in the second quarter for the Hawks. They've kicked the last 3. Final passage of play for the quarter with only 3 or 4 seconds left. Cameron off the ground, grabbed by Aim, and they grab him. And the siren for half-time, where it's Collingwood leading by 5.
They led by 17 at quarter time. They kicked the last 3 and 4 of the last 5 up to Collingwood. Kicked 6 in a row. So the Hawks bring it back to a 5-point margin. We got the close one kicking.
We've got a cracker. We absolutely got a cracker. They did what the coach desired early. The Pies, they got the ball to ground the forward 50 and went to town. Kicked a goal almost every time they went in the first term and looked alive. Then the Hawks responded.
You suggest both teams have had ascendancy at some point in this quarter as well, so plenty of opportunities for the coaches to go to work and show what the worst and what the best of them looks like in that first half.
Cameron Mooney.
Yeah, what a great quarter from Hawthorn, wasn't it? Look, they're leading in possessions, they're leading in clearances, they're leading in inside 50s. The only problem at the moment, and the fact that they've got back to 5 points, which is amazing, is their goal efficiency. Once they're going inside 50, it has been absolutely poor. We just see they're going at 20% goals inside, once they go inside 50. So if they get that right, boys, geez, look out, their second half's going to be absolutely huge, I feel. And just a quick one on Perryman. He came off late in that quarter and looks to be like a bit of a right hamstring. We'll keep an eye on that.
Well, he had the job on Nick Watson at various stages, so Hawthorn respond with the last 3 goals of the quarter. Half-time here, the Hawks trail 5-10-40 to Collingwood 7-3-45. So much fantastic footy. Every game you see here on Fox and KO next Saturday night, you would expect Scott Pendlebury to run out against the Cats, all things being equal, to equal Brent Harvey's record. The only place you can see that game of footy is right here on Fox and KO.
With Sportsbet, you can now...
All right, there we go, folks. It's half time here at the MCG. It's the Magpies still leading by 5 points. 7-3-45, the Hawks 5-10-40. The Magpies just putting on 2 goals 3 in that second term. Of course, Houston missing a couple of, goals he should have put through. But there we go. The Hawks missed a few too. 4 goals 3 to the Hawks in that second term. Tell you what, she's going to be a ring-a-ding final second half here. It's a tight game, anyone's game. Hawthorn's still doing well, even though they're behind. I'll tell you what, they controlled the ball a fair bit at the time. I know they made a couple of errors there and there were a couple of turnovers, but the Pies couldn't get their hands on the ball at some period throughout that quarter. Pies are just playing them at the moment. Wait and see half-time. We'll definitely wait and see. It's going to be interesting second half. You sort of got a feeling it could open up. I don't know. You could have a goal-scoring spree in the second half. That's the feeling I get anyway, but we'll certainly wait and see. Hopefully it's a goal-scoring spree by the Pies, not the Hawks, being a Pies supporter. The commentators will be back not too far away. Just have a quick recap of the live ladder at the moment, the live ladder, and that's how it sits. Hawthorn 3, Collingwood 4, if the game stays the way it is. As I said, if Hawthorn win, they'll go top of the table, and the Magpies will be back down to about 9th spot if that is the case. So we're hoping, the Magpies supporters are hoping they have a victory tonight. Let's have a little bit of a look at the goal scorers up until half-time before the commentators come back, give us analysis on the opening half. Jordan Ngoe didn't add to his tally in the opening term. He's still got the 2 goals there. Lockie Schultz. Maynard kicked one. Braden Maynard, well done. Will Hayes got one. Jack Bullan. Angus Anderson for the Hawks. A few more goal scorers there. Nick Watson's got one with Ned Reeves. Jai Newcomb, Jack Ginnivan, Massimo D'Ambrosio. There, your single goal scorers there for Hawthorn. Just having a look at the disposal count. I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting to have a look at the team's stats also up until half-time. As I said, no one really standing out in this game. It's been a shared ball for both teams. And as you can well see there, Dan Houston tops the table there, the backman for the Magpies. There we go. Not a midfielder, that's the backman. 15 disposals, 11 kicks, 4 handballs, those 2 behinds, which he probably should have slotted through, which he normally would. Jordan Ngoe, next best on 14 there for the Magpies, 9 kicks, 5 handballs, a couple of clearances and a couple of goals. And then we've got a host of Hawthorn, James Sicily, John Newcomb, Connor McDonald, and Jarman Impey. Also with Jack Ginnivan and Carl Lamont on 13. They're sharing the ball around well. Of course, Nick Dacos in that group with 13 also there for the Magpies. All right, we'll come back and continue with the stats in just a moment. Let's head back down for a little bit of analysis with the commentators on the opening half.
Goal for the Hawks, who really struggled in the opening half with their accuracy here at the MCG. The opening quarter in particular, 1 goal 8 before Jack Ginnivan nailed one. And, well, the Wizard Watson, we know he's got plenty of skill around goal. Jason Dunstall, Joey Montagna and Cameron Mooney. It has been a fascinating contest today. Hawthorn's pressure has been so poor. I'd love to be a fly on the wall listening to what Sam Mitchell has to say at half-time.
Very interesting first half, wasn't it? The Hawks had all the play early, didn't do anything with it on the scoreboard. And then they got a lesson in what happens if you don't bring the pressure. And I think it was 6 goals from their first 8 inside 50s. Collingwood, incredibly professional. They were very proficient going forward. Got the job done. All of a sudden, that scoreboard pressure started to mount up. And then the Hawks kept missing.
They did, but I think in the end, the half has now shown Hawthorn, I should say, starting to get the game on their terms. They were playing it the way they wanted to. They were just inaccurate, and they were allowing the Pies to score too easily. But once the game settled and it got into its groove, Hawthorn came to the fore.
Well, they're running at 20% going inside 50 at the moment, so that tells the story. They're dominating all stats and all that kind of thing, so they start straightening up, Chief. I think you'll be right.
It did feel like that correction was going to happen. We're going to have a look at our Harvey Norman highlights. Moons, you're watching from ground level. Jordan DeGoey picking up where he left off on Anzac Day.
Yeah, look, he looked fantastic, didn't he, at the start of this game. That kick there from Schultz, I love the vision there to make sure that he hits that on the inside. But that run down the middle, we saw Pendlebury do that a few times last week, so he's really taken that role on. But this shot here, I mean, this is DeGoey at his absolute best. 45 out, Joey, snap around the corner, goal.
Yeah, he's in great form, and we said that last week. You can tell, even he had a game at the start of the season where he hit the scoreboard as well. When he can hit the scoreboard and get the ball, that's when he really cuts up teams. Equal most score involvements on the field, so they need more of that in the second half. But it's great that he stood up again.
A lot to like about how the Pies have gone about it. Their transition's been excellent, and their ability in the forward line, Joey, to lock it in and crumb goals was exceptional, particularly in that first quarter.
Yeah, Jason spoke about Collingwood's efficiency with the real low inside 50 numbers, but they were able to make the most of it. And it was just some real craft from the small forwards, getting in the right spots, getting front and square, and being able to convert their work. So that was one from Schultz, and then this one was a beauty from Sidebottom as well, who is playing that defensive forward role on James Sicily, but he just tracked the footy, got right to the front and square, which was able to then to flick the ball out for DeGoey, who was waiting on the outside. So they just made the most of their opportunities in that first quarter in particular.
They came in with a real plan, didn't they, to make sure that they didn't get marked against in their defensive 50. And I thought McStay and Buller at times did a great job in that.
No doubt it's a focus against Hawthorn now, and teams are scouting it. Can't let them take intercept marks. That's when they get their rebound game and their transition game going. So the Pies didn't want to kick long. If they did, they made sure they brought it to the ground and the Smalls got involved.
Chase, let's dig a little deeper on Hawthorn's pressure or lack of.
Yep.
This is a side that excels in this area, and tonight they've been so poor. Is it the letdown after the game against the Gold Coast? Did they come in taking this a little too easy?
Hard to say, isn't it? But they are the number 1 pressure team in the comp right now. They would be ranked 18. You're running around 150 pressure rating in that first half. That is absolutely woeful, and I'm sure they'll get the message at half-time. But that's why Collingwood have been able to transition from their D50 to forward 50 a number of times without the ball being touched. I love the fact that they didn't just bomb it when they went forward. They found holes in the defensive zone. They chipped it into the corridor. They found Anderson with one in a very similar spot to where DeGoey kicked his goal from. I just like the way they've used the ball, and they'll continue to do that if the Hawks don't up the pressure.
It's the only area of the game, though, and Moons, I think you agree with me, that they probably need to really rectify. The accuracy will come. We saw that late in the quarter, but most of the other numbers, the important numbers around the ground ball, the contest, their clearance game, even the way they're now
dominating
transitioning.
everything.
They are. So I think to go in only 5 points down and they can reset now, Sam will speak to the group, I think they'll be sitting pretty comfortable.
Moons, you've got a very close seat here on boundary level. Are you noticing that lack of heat from Hawthorn? Is it something really tangible?
Look, it was early in that first quarter in particular, but I think they started to get the game on their terms. I just think once that accuracy now comes back, and we saw those numbers there, Chief and Joey, they're huge numbers all in favour of Hawthorn. Once you start to kick straight, I honestly think they'll blow this game away if Collingwood don't do something in this second half.
And a drama for Collingwood with Harry Perryman out of the game with a hamstring injuries. We call in John Ralph with the latest news. Perryman, that's a big blow.
Yeah, it certainly is. So it's a right hamstring injury. He certainly had some responsibility for Nick Watson early in this contest. So he did miss a couple of weeks given he had a couple of those injuries as a GWS player. Still, Sidebottom seems to have made a remarkable recovery from having his hand badly stopped on. Not just some swelling, but he almost had those 6 stop marks from Finn McGuinness. This is the injury. So the Collingwood doctors assessed it for a while. He didn't go down into the rooms for a jab, and it's almost the high fives that told the story. He was very keen to avoid any contact with the right hand. Got a critical ground ball there that set up one of those to-go-y goals, and then he was back high-fiving his teammate in Lockie Schultz. So it seems like even if that hand is broken, he's going to be able to get out there and finish play the second half.
Gosh, it looks sore, didn't it, Jace?
It does, and I'll tell you what he won't want to do. He won't have to be in a position where he's got to punch the ball. And if he does, he'll punch with his left hand from wherever he is.
All right, that is the latest news from this game. Of course, tomorrow, a big double-header on Fox Footy. We've got the game between the Western Bulldogs and Fremantle. As we know, the Bulldogs have been decimated by injuries in recent weeks.
One of the things that doesn't happen in this game is there's no sympathy. I'd say ultimately it doesn't matter or not whether we've got injuries. We've just, together, we've got to seize the opportunity to improve. It doesn't matter who it is. It's nothing about age, nothing about games experience. It's just this is an opportunity to build resilience and give ourselves every opportunity to tweak. So it's been quite easy for me because I don't need sympathy.
Gosh, it really is bad when you see all those injuries back to back. Ralphie, with thanks to HBF, you have some big selection news, though, some good news.
Yeah, so still no Lobb, still no Darcy out for the year, and no Tom Liberatore, but we have got Tim English back, probably a week ahead of schedule for the big All-Australian. That's great news for the Western Bulldogs, given, of course, he'll be up against Luke Jackson. The amazing story, though, quite clearly is Aaron Norton. So, well, this time last week, we thought as he fractured his neck, unbelievably, after a couple of quiet days across the weekend with some neck soreness and then some training earlier in the week, he is available to play. What an extraordinary, ghoulish incident. It's so great to see that he has been totally cleared of any injury there. Jason, you're probably in a situation where you've seen this kind of thing. You've experienced it in an Allies game. It's a really scary thing, and you'd be imagining that you'd be a little bit cautious the way he attacks the contests across the weekend.
Yeah, mine was nowhere near as bad because I didn't fall from a great height on it, but it's just the shock. It's the shock of it happening. You think the neck's not supposed to do that, so you feel like pretty fortunate that you didn't break your neck. The body just kind of goes, I need to protect the neck, so I didn't take any further part in the game, but played the next week. So hopefully Aaron Norton's done the same thing, escaped any structural injury, which is remarkable given the height that he fell from. I feared for his vertebrae when he fell from that height, but it's great to see that he's come through it.
Joey, the Tim English in is enormous considering the opposition.
Yeah, massive. I mean, coming up against Luke Jackson, one of the informed ruckmen of the competition, it may just give the Western Bulldogs that first use around contest which they need to build their game from. So hopefully he gets through, but he won't have his skates on because Luke Jackson is going to challenge him offensively.
Now, Ralphie, every Pies fan has their diary and the fixture out. They're cross-referencing, they're working it out. Scott Pendlebury's road to the record. What can you tell us?
So round 11, MCG, 4:35, live and exclusive on Fox Footy. This is the clash against West Coast. So as Craig McRae told us pre-match, he was pretty sore training this morning, would never have got up for a 5-day break. We'll play Geelong with a 9-day break, and then we'll have the SCG clash off against Sydney. He's very keen to play this game out in front of family and friends, and about 172 players who have been invited who have played with him across that remarkable 18-game journey. Maybe Bobby Hill will be there. He'll play 3/4 in a VFL clash tomorrow. Then we'll play a full game. And then it's about the trust of his teammates, whether they're prepared to bring him in for these clashes through round 10 and 11. So very keen to see Bobby back. But right now, for the great superstar, it's all about Scott Pendlebury.
And that will be such a night to remember. This place, the MCG, where he's got so many wonderful memories. I mean, you would expect 90,000 plus here, and the majority of those being Collingwood fans. The atmosphere will be wild.
Full house, it'll be just a night of celebration. And I think
when we look at all the players that have played so many games, you think about who's going to own this record. I don't think anyone would begrudge a player like a Scott Pendlebury that's always played the game in such a fair fashion, such a high level throughout his 20-plus years of playing. I think we all tip our hat to him.
So admired, so respected, and the celebration will continue. Of course, AFL 360 will have all the build-up to the record equaling game. Jared and Gary will also have the coaches on as they dissect everything that's happened out of the weekend of football before the heavy hitters take over on the couch with all the analysis out of round 8, including the great Lee Matthews.
All right, there we go. A little bit of analysis wrap up in the opening half. From the commentators, let's head back, folks. Let's have a look at the stats. Nick Dacos, as I said, 13 disposals. I didn't have too many in that second term. 6 and 7 with a couple of clearances. Let's just keep rolling down. Cam McKenzie there for the Hawks on 12 with Connor Nash, Ned Long, Josh Dacos on 12. Tell you what, we're in for, I think we'll find a big second half from a few players out there on the ground, which will be a little bit spectacular. Everyone's sharing it around. Nick Watson, as I said, just a 7. He's looking lively, the wizard out there with his 1 goal. Josh Weddle, a little bit quiet, 6 touches, 4 kicks, 2 handballs. Kicked that one behind. Lockie Schultz to come into the game a little bit more, but running hard, doing the 1%ers reasonably well out there. They're just a 5 touches, 4 and 1. He's kicked that 1 goal. And as we keep going down, Jack Gunston yet to kick a goal there for the Hawks. So, well, he could be the one that opens up and has a big second half for the Hawks. And, of course, Jamie Elliott also just the 3 touches. No kicks, no scores, still side bottom. Only the 2 touches there as well. Darcy Moore on his return, just the 1 disposal, 1 kick. Just having a look at the team stats there. Well, there we go. The Hawks, as I said before, they controlled the ball in that second term. They're plus 36 on the disposal count now. The inside forward 50s for both teams, the Magpies lift a little bit. They're up to 16 now. They had 9 in that second term. 16 inside 50s for 10 scoring shots. They're still going pretty good efficiency. The Hawks, 25 inside forward 50s for just 5 goals, 10, 15 scoring shots. So the disposal efficiency pretty good for both teams, actually. 76 apiece, and about 68 and 64 free kicks. There was a couple of dubious ones there to the Hawks. Of course, umpires love the Hawks, as we all know. But there we go. That's 14-2. It's pretty tight. And of course, most people are confused on some of the decisions out there. Players, coaches, fans alike. 14-12 is just plus 2. Hit-outs, Hawthorn doing the job there. 17-11 plus 8. The clearances still doing the job. The Hawks, 20-10. Of course, the Magpies got 3 clearances in that second half out of the centre. I'm pretty sure it was 7-0. Well, it was 3-1 in that second term. Magpies took that out. 8-3. Hawks still plus 5 in the centre clearances, and the stoppage clearances 12-7. Hawks plus 5 there. Contested, well, there we go. They're plus 24. 50% more than the Magpies. So the Hawks will be pretty happy there. Going on just a little bit above their season average for contested possessions. Uncontested, as I said, the Hawks controlled the ball, 99-126, plus 27 there. Magpies go ahead on the marking scheme, 56-50. Marks inside 50, both teams pretty equal. 6-7, the Hawks are there, plus 1. Contested marks, both teams contesting reasonably well, 5-6. Tackle count, I tell you what, this is very, very surprising to see tackle count so low from both of these sides. 20-18. Pies have had 2 more tackles, but this should be already up around 30, 35 up until half time. Tackles inside forward 50 are super duper low for both teams also. 1-2, 1 tackle for the Magpies, 2 for the Hawks. Tell you what, I'm sure we'll see a fair bit more happening in the second half. There we go. You can see pictures. Nick Dacos just getting his hip worked on there, getting a bit of a massage from the physio there, but looking good. Just getting some of the lumen oil on his calves. But there we go. We're only a minute out from the bounce of the ball. Players will be back out very shortly. Just looking at There we go. Maybe a little bit of tightness there for Nick in his calf, but we'll certainly see how he plays out the second half of this game. But so far, hopefully it will be all right for him. Maybe put him down forward so he's just on the straight runs. Anyway, looks like he's going to be starting back in the centre of the ground for the bounce of the ball for the third quarter. Let's head back down to the action where it's the Magpies by 5 points. Go Pies.
Yeah, obviously low inside 50s in that first quarter. They were able to score well, though. The sense that the game was starting to get back onto the Hawthorn terms. At the moment, Hawthorn are so close to breaking Collingwood. It's just their possession and the way they've used the ball. I mean, uncharacteristic skill errors from guys like Dylan Moore. So I'm sure Sam Mitchell would have had a lot to talk about. One thing they would have been focusing on is their pressure. It is well below their season average. They are the best pressure team in the competition. They're at 1-4-1 in that second quarter, so you'd expect better from them.
So it was Collingwood by 17 at quarter time, 5 at the main break. Big second half on Fox. Thursday night footy. Up they go. Steen and also Reeves. Nick Dacos running for it, with also Nash picked up by McKenzie. Newcomb, free kick goes to Newcomb, but the advantage paid, so Impey can press on with it, courtesy of Reeves, and then keeps a low worm burner towards half forward. Deere pats it to Nash, back to Deere. McKenzie ran on by, over the top to Eamon, controlled the football okay, over the top of Hardwick, set up for him okay, then a looper towards Moore, and back inboard to Newcomb.
The skipper in the middle of the MCG. Crowded forward line ahead of him. Chips at 30 from home. Steen drops one he just about had. McGuinness at ground level. They did look for Reeves, who's taken a couple of marks inside 50. Little worm burner only as far as Houston. Drives a long ball out of defence. It'll be a free kick the way of Sicily.
So the Hawks just a probe again here. So Sicily. Long and low. Moore went the fist. Deere waited at the back. Lipinski there. Scooped it to Josh Dacos. Now to Crisp. And he can pop it outside defensive 50 with a low one towards Schultz with a diver.
Great kick. Just relieves all the pressure. Out in front. Schultz takes a low diving mark. Reset.
Hawks have gone long inside 50 to Reeves a couple of times to start the turn. There's a wrestle. No one really knew who it was going to go. It goes against Collingwood in the way of battle.
Tough call there on young Steen. He had good position. I think he might have just grabbed Josh Battle's jumper there, and that's the sign that the umpire saw to pay that free kick.
Sicily with the overlap. McKenzie's the runner on the outer side. Looking more and more comfortable every game he plays. Nice ball forward to Mitch Lewis, the overlap runner. D'Ambrosio kicked the opener of the match. 45-degree ball inboard. But Darcy Cameron's there in front of Cowshadir.
So Cameron to Moore, who just over clubs it toward Crisp, and that's going to get lassoed back. So the Hawks with a chance here through Dylan Moore.
And Reeves pushes down forward now, so Cameron has to worry about the opposing ruckman.
So Moore kick towards the hot spot. Reeves was he outworked with Cameron. It's a free kick. It's going to Cameron.
Yeah, and that's the battle. I mean, you just can't give away a free kick. Got to fight the fight, but with your body, not your hands. Just grabbed and gave away an easy call to the umpire.
He's filtering through via Fox that Perryman out with a hamstring injury at half-time. So we won't unfortunately see any more of Harry. Nice transition. In the hands of Will Parker. Floats it ineffectively to Hardwick, who immediately goes into Amon.
Amon has plenty of ground ahead of him. Minding his own business, Gunston in a panic. D'Ambrosio blazes on by and then sinks it towards Watson. He flew! Went way before acceptances. Josh Dacos takes the advantage to Crisp.
You heard the umpire call unrealistic. I think with Nick Watson, you've got to be careful with the unrealistic call, as it's a shove from Impey because he makes the unrealistic realistic. Although he was a long way underneath that one, Jackie boy.
Yeah, full body length, wasn't it, on Nick Watson? But he had no other option there. The play-on happened and it was only Nick Watson inside forward 50. So the Hawks have got to sort their stuff out at the moment going inside forward 50.
Schultz's high one. Steen wrestles. Reeves grabs it. was a good mark from the tall man. Eventually in the hands of McKenzie. Just needs an option through the middle. Uses McGuinness. Newcomb. Nash. Newcomb went without it. McGuinness there to steady the ship. Did well. Held onto the football. Now spreads to Gunston. Keeps it low towards Deer. Cut off by Steele.
Gunston has taken possession 70 out a couple of times, whether he's moved up the ground a touch. Buller, Nick Dacos, fumble at the wrong time, and the Hawks will affect the turnover. It was from Roan Steele. Gunston again, long way from home. Lewis arrives. Billy Rampton, he has been rock solid.
I've been watching Nick. He's certainly not moving well when the Hawks have got the ball anyway. Maybe that's a midfield thing.
He's got a lot of speed when they've got the ball, I just noticed that here.
So more for the Pies, exits D50, but Hawks have the numbers here. Impey just glancing in from the side. He goes back into the middle. Then Reeves dropped an absolute sitter. Anderson all over him and gave away an undisciplined free kick.
There's poor tackle technique there from Anderson. He had him done after the fumble from Reeves. Hawthorn sloppy with the ball at the moment.
So this entry interesting. High ball from Reeves. Weddle! Couldn't quite. McGuinness tried to get it to Watson. Moore was there in the hole. And then Schultz pummels it out to Crisp. And this awkward-looking kick towards the boundary goes out. So the lasso again.
Big hang there from Josh Weddle. Whoa. Saw that Aaron Norton footage from last week. Players coming down from contests like that.
7-0 inside 50s for the term. Hawthorn, McKenzie with a bit of pace. Drops into a dangerous area. Big fly from the side. Dan Brosio did everything but take the mark. Still might work out. Watson blazes and Collingwood fans rejoice.
Ah, this is a bit of specky practice in the forward 50 for the Hawks. Just sit it up on a pack. Huge hang. You're worried about Weddle on the crash landing, but he got up, he was fine.
So still a 0-0 draw here at the moment in the third term as Nick Dacos throws his slipper into that. Steen, good young player. Lipinski, looping handball to Anderson. Quick movement right down the middle of the shot as way home to Elliott.
What about the confidence? The confidence Nick Dacos had in Steen to take that contested mark with Sicily coming in at centre-half back, outstanding.
And this is a mirror of what we saw in the first quarter. It was forward half turnover, turnover, repeat from Hawthorn. Collingwood get one opportunity, they take a risk up the middle.
Got a couple of guys coming off here, guys. Houston's come off, he's in the hands of the doctors at the moment.
So opportunity here for Elliott from 45. Makes no mistake and makes the Hawks pay.
Well, we've seen the Pies find their way around the boundary line and almost just try and bypass the intercepting players of the Hawks. On that occasion, Nick Dacos said, well, you know what, I'm going to trust the young ruckman. I'm going to give you a look here, and it's a dangerous spot. Look where he's kicked that ball. If that's turned over, it's a Hawthorn goal. Simple as that. And they stay in corridor, and good luck guarding Jamie Elliott with that much space inside the forward 50. Great play, Pies. Very aggressive, very adventurous, and very rewarding.
Inside 50s for the term. Hawthorn 8, Collingwood 1. Collingwood 1 goal, Jack. Their efficiency is off the charts tonight.
Yeah, and if they can break that forward half turnover and that forward press from Hawthorn, it gives them great opportunities. And that man there, 1-on-1 inside 50, one of the best lead-up forwards in the competition.
Reeves nicely tapped down to Ward. Doesn't have much room to operate with Anderson.
Thank you.
Ironically, the more forward half turnovers you have back-to-back, the stronger the defence is. There's so many numbers that get behind the ball, and Hawthorn is struggling to pierce that at the moment.
Lipinski tries to spit it out to Cameron. Throws a boot at it. Barris gets hassled away, as does Battle. More chances here for Collingwood. To go. Whips it out. Barris can't complete the tackle. It's another one for the Pies, and Hayes has got a couple.
Well, it's again the plan. Get it to ground and hunt. Go to work, little fellas. You know, to bypass Battle, bypass Faraz. It's just a slipper into it from the ruck and then just fight. Get it to ground. Now, Barris is gone. Battle's got to play a foreign game. And then the numbers arrive. It's a replica of what we saw in the first quarter. Elite strategy here from Craig McRae. Sure, the players have got to deliver upon it, but he sold them a plan and they've bought in. We've got a game on our hands here.
Will Hayes, 13 goals from 15 games in the VFL last year. He wants to stay in the big league, though, with a couple of big goals tonight.
I made a genuine attempt. I handball.
So, flicked out by Ward. Josh Dacos had it for a moment. Stolen by McDonald. Ginnivan's quick kick worked to Ward. Spreads it out by hand. D'Ambrosio trying to kick it to Watson, but Quaynor read it better.
Maynard hooks it. Oh, Maynard, good diving effort. He's up a bit sore.
Yeah, that's okay.
13th disposal for that. Number 4 bites a bit off. Might work its way through, or could come back the other way. It's the ladder through Ward. The Hawks blaze forward. Frampton. Watson arrives. Watson departs. 2 for Nick Watson, and he keeps the Hawks alive.
He's fast becoming the most watchable player in the competition. You just hold your breath. The crowd just goes quiet when he's in the area. You know what's coming. Kick from Maynard. He paid a heavy price. Just watch Watson.
He wasn't even in the area to start off with.
And don't worry, he's coming. And he just times it to perfection. And Quaynor had done the right thing. He got back to help. If the ball isn't diffused, you know what's coming.
It's incredible just how fast he is and how good it is when he hits it a pack. I don't think I've seen a player crumb the ball like this since Eddie Betts. The amount of times he gets to the right spot at the right pace.
Always a joy to see the Harvey Norman replay of that. Newcomb funneled it out. The Wards runs fast in a straight line. Then McDonald, 3 disposals straight through the middle.
Well, this is the first time they've been able to get them at centre bounce. Concern for Collingwood here as Darcy Cameron is limping off the ground as well from that centre bounce there, going into the hands of trainers. But look at this. This is when they get up and going. These hands in the middle here are absolutely elite. Look at that. The up and out game with the handball, break 50. McDonald, an excellent finish.
He's heading straight down Darcy Cameron. Looked like he grabbed at that right knee, King.
Yeah, horrible news. I'd love to see that handball again from Newcomb. Not convinced, Jack.
Oh, man, throw.
Perryman out of the game with a hamstring. Cameron in the rooms, and Houston. Still, they lead this game, Collingwood. They've got half the inside 50s of Hawthorn. They lead the game. Barris in prime position, but floating across to beat the 2 Bs. Battling Barris is McStay.
Wow. That's a powerful moment in this game. Just misjudged it there, did Tom Barris. McStay just got big at the right time. This is huge, this conversion.
From directly in front. Big moment in this match to take it back out to 11 points. Collingwood will not be denied. Magnificent in front of the sticks. McStay takes it back out to an 11-point game.
Well, the best way to combat a centre bounce goal against is to get one for yourself. I think that's the 3rd ruck infringement against Hawthorn for coming across the line here. Centre bounce, it's the most purest form of footy at the moment. 6v6, the ability to get it inside your own forward 50. And I reckon Tom Barris here was thinking that he was going to make body contact with the pack and actually go up and put himself in the best position. But it never came, so he jumped early, thinking he might get a lift from someone else. and it wasn't there. McStay read it better in the end in between the two Bs.
So
it's a free kick either.
It's Collingwood by 11. The Big O flew early, won it down. Grabbed by Meek. A real up and under. McGuinness patted it down. Long had it for a moment. Josh Dacos by hand. Lipinski, Ward all over him.
Holding the ball, fire option not taken. Hawthorn, stand.
So Ward wants to pick himself up pretty quickly. Tries to open up the field further afield. Lewis, one bite, two bites. Did he take it down?
Yeah.
He did. To Mark.
Yeah, getting a good run here, the Hawks. There's no doubt about that. I can understand why the Collingwood faithful are getting angry.
Let's go. And area, please.
You would think that it's touched at some stage, but maybe not.
8 touches tonight, and he's kicked 2 behinds. A couple of set shots early. So he's had a couple of sighters. Slight angle. And this time, the goal umpire does not move. We've got a game at the G.
There's a good finish there from Mitch Lewis. He's had a few siders.
Positions, let's go.
And I just sense that the way Collingwood are defending at the moment, Mitch Lewis has a bigger part to play in this from a Hawthorn point of view than potentially Jack Gunston. This is that roll around onto the left foot. You can see that he's got Lewis deep. Gunston's further up the ground at the moment, so they know it's not coming in pure.
Yeah, they've done that for 2 reasons. One, to get Frampton back to last line because he was intercepting and spoiling at will, cutting them off at centre-half back effectively for the Pies. So they've got Gunston out of full forward and effectively dragged Frampton back to last line. I just wonder if Craig McRae will have to now respond and get Frampton out to the next line where he's been so effective.
3 goals apiece for the term. Cameron hopefully gets back out on the ground. Another crossing the line, this time the way of Hawthorn. Newcomb just dumps it forward to Lewis. Frampton spills to ground. McDonald, nice spin. Even better finish. Reigning goals at the G now. Centre bounce clearance is the king.
Five scores now to the Hawks from centre bounce. So they've won 13 centre bounce clearances and scored 5 times. And a remarkable strike rate. Get it in deep, fight the fight. Pretty simple stuff. This is a great finish.
I love the move of Mitch Lewis to full forward as well. Like Gunston's been the hot man all year, but getting him deep is good.
Here's the Cameron injury. It's knee on knee. Yeah, knee on knee as the 2 ruckmen went up. It's the dreaded curse of the centre bounce line for the ruckman. We hope he's okay.
So the Hawks in front for the first time. Less than 10 to go in the third term. Ward grabbed by De Goey.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh. Josh, let's take.
Back in the middle. Newcomb ripped off at Lipinski. Dacos, Quaynor. Spreads it wide. Impey at the back with the fist. He's in the right spot. Has to fend off Parker. Bats it along the ground. In over the top. Steele grabbed by Ginnivan and a ball up.
That's fantastic from Impey. To just find a way to compete. Stoppage a huge result. He was 2-on-1. He was done for all money. Little moments matter here.
And to keep his feet after the marking contest, McDonald can't keep the ball in.
I think it was that spike there from Meek.
Just wonder if he can flip Darcy Moore and Frampton around now and get Frampton out of line. He's the main man down there at the moment. He might not have the C next to him in terms of captaincy, but I think he's the best defender out there right now for the Pies.
Hawks by a point. Meek, front position. Hand passes to space, if anything. Comes back to Nick, who's having his 19th disposal. Long. Nice little bit of evasive work. Hooks a powerful ball forward. Hardwick's in best position. Spills the mark, though. Collingwood so efficient when they get inside 50. They can't at this stage. Overlap hand pass. Scrimshaw been relatively quiet. Now McGuinness takes his time, whips it out to batter.
Battle. Eamon. Gunston. Looks left, looks right. Cat and mouse. Back to Eamon. Sicily.
Big switches on here, boys.
This was the theme of the first quarter, wasn't it? Hardwick to Impey, who is in an absolute panic. He's got half the ground to himself. Searching kick to Meek. Hawks building.
Done well to slow the Hawks up here though, the Pies. And a 1v2, just didn't get the most of that.
Meek forced to go short. McDonald Weddle could have raffled it. McDonald with the lucky number. Now corridor. Ward. And goes short. It's not 15. It was marked by Gunston. Gunston forced to play on. So just hacks it up into the air. But Newcomb takes the grab.
Well, it was excellent play by Hawthorn to come back to the middle of the ground. They got slowed up, but they were able to find options to get into the most offensive part of the ground to the top 50 with Ward there. Gunston nearly just drew him and made him kick him the ball when he made the short sort of 10-metre lead there. You can see that one there. And the play on there, you've got to be alive sometimes in the forward 50 and ready for anything to come. And Newcomb was able to do that.
So a big kick with 7.5 minutes to go in this third term.
Sometimes you've got to find different ways to win games. And winning contest in your forward 50 can cure all ills. +8 at the moment, they are the Hawks in their forward 50. So supply with quality contest work holding supreme.
Couple of courageous kicks. Second one doesn't pay off. Now here's a Broadway one. Side bottom with a bung hand. Brings it in, and Elliott's a bit slow to get to his feet.
No worse position to be in AFL footy, running back with a fight, knowing that there's a defender coming, but Jamie Elliott didn't shirk it there.
Reeves, Cameron, good to see him back out there. Dacos goes off the ground, unusual. Hardwick traps it. Out wide to Impey, who's really starting to have an effect on this game. Wobbles it. Ginnivan front position. Houston worked him underneath it nicely. Quaynor, Houston, back inboard to Crisp.
Crisp. A bit of time, and then just a mung kick. Kicks it straight to the dugout.
Very un-Jack Crisp like that kick.
Mind seeing Collingwood slow the game down for a couple of minutes. Oh!
Well, Battle was too slow.
Lucky Schultz, stand.
Didn't hear Schultz coming. He's had a good night. So, Schultz little dance around, and then Quaynor was there in close attendance. Fascinating game of footy. Highly tactical from the start. Quaynor. Piercing ball.
Oscar Steen.
And it's going to be Oscar. Free kick, and it's going to Big Oscar.
Yeah, and they've done that all night, haven't they? Just put the ball to contest. Trust their big boys to at least bring it to ground.
Time on.
There's a little bit of panic has crept into the Hawks' talls down back. We've seen Battle and Barris run under a couple. And just here, Sicily, not much in it, but we've seen that paid earlier this evening. Red hot, the umpies.
Oscar Steen, recruited from West Perth. 6th game of AFL, impressed at his debut earlier in the year. Important kick for Oscar Steen. The young man, belying his years, straight through the middle. Pies back in front.
Yeah, King, I sense you're right. I sense at the moment from a Hawthorn point of view behind the ball is that there's sort of 6 1v runs rather than a 6v6. I mean, Sicily does not need to do the push there. He just needs to take Steen out of the contest and allow Barras to come across and be the interceptor. So at the moment they're a bit confused, but what a good effort from Steen to get forward and challenge them in the air. I mean, it's the way Collingwood have been playing that long down the line, try and get to the contest, either mark it or bring it to ground.
I'm not sure I've seen a conversion like this. 4 inside 50s for the quarter, 4 goals. So it's 20 for the match, 11 goals, 3. So Collingwood, when they go in, are scoring. So the high inside 50 number's not going to be there. There's no repeats. Doesn't go in, out. But they'd be thrilled with what their forwards have been able to bring in terms of returns.
They're led by 17 at quarter time, 5 at half time. Collingwood currently holding on by 4 points.
Oscar Mitt.
Newcomb's been fantastic in the middle. McDonald's got a couple of goals. A little outside of the boot job. Be a tough one to trap. Hawthorn push it back into the corridor. Maynard punches it that way. Cameron worked underneath it. Free kick Collingwood.
Yep, go for
Well,
it.
let's see if the backs can get organised here from a defensive point of view from the Hawks. And Pies go quickly.
Cameron back on the ground. Maynard, Josh Dacos.
Come on, 2 metres, Jack. Come on, 2. Stand.
What are we going to see in this next forward entry from the Pies? They've been proficient in the third term. Nick Dacos. The Bigo standing in the square. Nick Dacos launches, goes himself, takes it on his own shoulders and kicks another one.
Well, they allowed him to run. And what a call play on. And he just teased like he was going to kick the ball at any point. And took that extra 2 to 3 steps. It looked like he was going to try and kick to the top of the square. But he just kept going. He saw that 50-metre line. And he said, I can get there from here. And it was just a matter of whether the defender on the right was going to get there to close that space. Just watch, you can see. It's Weddle on his right-hand side. He takes off. And he just doesn't really close the gap with any urgency and lets him get that 3 metres that matters. What a finish.
I sensed they didn't think he was going to have a shot kicking.
Well, I didn't either. No one did. No one in the venue. Except for Nick.
It's Nick Dacos. It's Nick Dacos. You've got to put pressure on him.
Collingwood have been inside 55 times for the term. You guessed it. They've kicked 5 goals. Outstanding efficiency. Now it's Hawthorn under pressure. D'Ambrosio trying to do something about it. Hasn't worked for Gunston tonight. Coming in from the side. Watch out for Watson. He arrives. He's still in the contest. McDonald, Houston, Josh Dacos. One more hand pass and they're out. Long takes on. Too strong for McKenzie in the tackle. Now Collingwood to centre wing.
Houston, another looping handball, Elliott. Houston, as we know, loves to run. To go in with the volleyball fist idea was right, just too strong.
You can see that's back to that first quarter pattern. Stay wide, leapfrog, leapfrog, leapfrog. Nearly paid off again.
What a great game of footy. Approaching 3-quarter time. Everyone here thinks their team's a chance at the moment.
Gee.
Hi, Collingwood.
Yeah, had to be afraid.
Cameron.
Been kicked away, Cameron.
Yeah, he's grabbed him.
Against big Ned.
So slowing down, allowing the numbers all to get inside deep in their forward 50.
Can they go inside 50 and kick yet another goal? Hawthorn defenders scurry to the front. Impey. This time they don't. Aim on with a long clearing ball towards the wing. Deer hasn't been a factor as yet. Newcomb whips it out to McDonald. Shrugs the tackle. Problems. Somehow just whipped it out to Ginnivan. Now Deer. Rees tells him to take the ground and does. Inboard to McKenzie. Little step gets himself into trouble. Gets out of trouble now. Pokes it inside 50. Watson tries to work his way to the front. Nicely played by Maynard, who thought he was infringed.
I think Collingwood have been able to... I mean, the one thing they have been able to do is force Hawthorn to kick it long. They've looked all at sea. If it hasn't been Nick Watson at ground level, they've really struggled.
As Howie mentioned earlier, Cam McKenzie playing with more and more confidence as his career goes on. Reeves and Cameron fell to Long. Long just a hack kick. Kick and hope straight onto the sternum of Hardwick.
Scrimshaw. He's got the runner and a nice boot of Impey to utilise. To Weddle, needs to track back with the footy. Here's the important kick. They haven't accessed Gunston all night.
I feel like they need one more short kick here before they go in, which they're not going to get.
It's a little low Pearcer. Frampton out the back and lands in the hands of Lipinski. So quickly, Kingy, what have they done to stymie the Jack Gunston factor?
Yeah, well, they've guarded 0 to 30 in the corridor really well, Collingwood. Has taken away Gunston's leading lanes, forced them to blast the ball.
Lipinski's kick attracts a crowd. McDonald, just a bit of fancy stuff, fell to Parker. Josh Dacos now side bottom. Schultz hugs the boundary line. Kick was errant. Eamon was there to gather for the Hawks, and they make them pay. McDonald, Ginnivan, spearing ball to Lewis.
A good turnover, but it's a shocking spot to kick the ball from Lockie Schultz. He created the switch himself, and you can see just rolling to the middle. There's a sea of defenders back there for the Pies, but a good kick from Ginnivan. The long ball hasn't worked for them. This is more of a Hawthorn style that we're used to seeing, that lead-up footy.
So 1 goal, 2 so far tonight. Mitch Lewis. Straight over the goal umpire's head again. He roars and they're back within 4.
It's just such a costly turnover, bringing the ball out of your defensive half. A little handball there, and Nick was expecting this to come in board, didn't come to him. And that's just a horrific turnover at this level. You're always going to pay a price. They played wide, they played smart. You'd think the coach would be furious with that. They built a 10-point lead and they just gift one to the Hawks. Game back on, 4 points.
Perriman out with a hamstring. Impey's had 22 alongside Newcomb. Houston 23. Nick Dacos 21. Josh Dacos 20 for the Pies. Collingwood did lead by 23 points in the second term. Managed to have the answers when Hawthorn have challenged. Newcomb another centre clearance. Watson will be outsized by Maynard, who takes the mark, plays on. Hurried kick out of defence. Here's a ball to be won. Impey. Precious Schultz does well to get it to Parker, puts it out in front of Dacos. He's going to try and take on McKenzie. He's got the wheels on him. The calf looks okay from here in the glasses. Steps around McKenzie, who's still in the battle. What a contest that is on the outer wing. And eventually, Anderson screws it forward. Barris leaves it for Hardwick. Goes back in. Funny little hand pass to himself. Nice for the stats. Barris unsure. Gee, it's a high pressure game now.
McKenzie taking in some deep breaths, steadies, and Ginnivan hesitates, a call to play on.
An amazing job, the Pies back 6 have defended 15 straight centre bounce clearance wins from the Hawks. It's 15-5 out of the middle, 15-4 out of the middle.
Battle, big fly Lewis, McDonald, Weddle, Watson 60 metres out, handballs over the top, handballs to himself, gathers, chip, gets it to Kelshadia, who bangs it through on the siren.
KB. It's Kevin back at the G.
Highlights from the Wizards. Isn't he magnificent? And Hawks are in front at three-quarter time.
Drop of ball. The only player in the league you can't leave to his own devices in Watson. Number 5, if you're not sure. Pies, because he's done it again. Look at him, just set them up, stalk in front of contest, then gone.
He looks at Frampton here, he says, I'll have that, thank you very much, that space I want to run into.
Well, Frampton was stuck because if he tackles him, it's a free 150 anyway. So he was dead to rights. But what genius from the little man.
How good's the footy? Hawthorn with a late goal to Deer, lead it by 2 points at three-quarter time. Fantastic night of Thursday night footy on Fox. Post-game, you got Chiefs trivia, you got the full wrap of what's going on. A nice, long, extended post-game. David King will be involved. It'll be through to midnight right here on your home of footy. That's Fox.
All right, there we go. Tell you what, the Hawks have hit the front. Well, they got that within the last half a second of the third quarter, 11-11, 77, leading the Pies 12-3, 75 by 2 points, folks. We are in for a ring-a-ding-ding final quarter. I tell you what, just for what a game. I haven't seen a game like this. Exactly, it's been a fantastic game. Look, the Hawks, they've just got so much speed on the ball. The Magpies are sort of left standing in a few times, but it's just been the last entry for the Hawks that have been troubling them. And the Magpies have been able to defend well. So it's like it's ebbs and flows of this game. Of course, the Pies scoring goals pretty much good percentage of the time when they get in this forward 50. I'll tell you what, I can't pick a winner and who's going to win this game, folks. Hey, we did it at quarter time. We did it at half time for the Magpie supporters when they were in front. I'll show you the live ladder for the Hawthorn supporters out there. At the moment, this is what happens. If the Hawks go on and win this game by the margin they are at the moment, they'll end up on top of the ladder. As you can see, a game clear, but still everyone else to play. And Collingwood will drop down to 9th position. If the Magpies win, it's a different story. Hawthorn will be 3rd, Magpies will be 4th. That's what both teams have got to play for. I tell you what, Pies by 2. Let's hope so. It's going to be a cracking game. I'm just still not sure who's going to win this game. I'll tell you what, the goal scorers out on the ground. There we go. For Hawthorn, we've got 3 moldables, Mitch Lewis, Connor McDonald and Nick Watson, all with 2 goals. Ned Reeves, Joe Newcomb, Jack Ginnivan, Cash Ladir and Ambrosio got singles for the Magpies. Will Hayes, Jordan De Goey, both with 2 goals. Jordan De Goey's been a little bit quiet up after quarter time. Oscar Steen slotted in with 1. Lockie Schultz, Daniel McStay, Braden Maynard also got 1 with Jamie Elliott, Nick Dacos with a cracker and Jack Buller. They are your goal scorers up until 3/4 time. Just looking at the ball magnets here, as I said, all players out on the ground, they're sharing the load out there tonight. There's no individual player taking charge out there. John, I don't know how they're going to pick best on ground out there tonight. That's going to be a tough job. I still can't even pick it at the moment. John Newcomb tops the table with Dan Houston. 1 from Hawks, 1 for the Pies, both on 23. Both players had 13 kicks, 10 handballs. There we go. But John Newcomb, 1 goal, 2, 8 clearances. Fantastic effort there. As I said, they're dominating out of the centre bounce is the Hawks. Nick Dacos up to 22 now with that 1 goal. Jarman Impey on 22. McDonald on 21. Sicily on 20. We'll just quickly roll down the stats there. Lipinski 14. Jack Crisp on 14. Nick Watson, as I said, 13 disposals, 7 kicks, 2 goals for him. All right, the commentator's just about back at G. I don't know who's going to win, but I tell you what, Hawthorn, I tell you what, they as I said before, they came into this game $1.22 favourites. Magpies were over $4 to win this game. So, yeah, look, I still can't pick who's going to win this. It's just who's going to take the chances when they arise and when they get the opportunity to do it. Both teams having their chances. But tell you what, the Hawks, the speed might be the trouble. Can the Pies stop the speed of the Hawks? Stop a bit of that run that they do get through? Like they mark their play on, etc. like that, and they change direction well. It's going to be tough for the Pies, but the Pies we know can do it. Can the Hawks hang on? We'll certainly find out in just a moment. We're not too far away from the bounce of the ball for the final quarter. Tell you what, it's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game, folks, so don't go anywhere. If you're a Collingwood supporter, you're a Hawthorn supporter, or you're any other supporter around, because, as I said, that's the live ladder as it stands, a little bit different to what we showed at quarter time and half time. But you got, I tell you what, if you're a Freo supporter at EG, you'll certainly be barracking for the Magpies to win this game. And if you're a Sydney supporter, and of course Melbourne supporter, Brisbane supporter, you don't want the Hawks to get away too much ahead with those games. So there we go. So anyway, we've got a little bit more support. That's the live ladder. I showed the quarter time when it was different. Hawks were 3rd, Pies were 4th. As I said, it's changed. Anyway, that's enough of me. Go Pies, lol. Hey. I should take a screenshot of that at EG. I think that's the first time we've seen you say that you want your second favourite team to win. Go Pies. All right, let's head back down to the action. Whereas the Hawks by 2 points.
Contest that came off. He came off in that quarter really sore. Nick Dacos, he's got a right hip. He's got a lot of work done on that in that quarter. We know Perryman's out. Houston, he spent time on the bench with a face injury, and Sidebottom's got a right hand. Can Collingwood get over the line? Have they got enough gas in the tank here, boys? This is going to be a great finish.
Yes, we've been treated to a cracking game so far. It's sense, though, with those injuries, it's going to be a lot of hard work for Collingwood, but they've got Nick Dacos. That means you've got an opportunity.
Well, they've got to start winning some ball out of the centre bounce clearance. It's 15-4. Give their backman a rest.
There's Collingwood by 5 at half-time. Hawks by 2 at three-quarter time. First possession to Ward with a long searcher towards Deer. Gunston's the first one at the fall of the ball. Stops, picks it up, then eyes off the goals and misses the lot.
Yeah, that's a man who's having a bad night, trying to get one, trying to lift his team. Had to go top of goal square that one, but that's another centre bounce clearance. 16-4 now.
Hawthorn dominating a lot of statistics, but they only lead up by 2 points. Collingwood have been wonderful with a tight game plan. The coach have constructed and the players have absolutely perfected tonight. Perryman out with a hamstring from half-time. Reeves, heard Newcomb steaming through. Nash tried a little Gaelic toe poke. Right in front is the magnificent Shane Warnstein.
5 goals from 7 entries first quarter, 5 from 7 in the third. Forward 50 working well for the Pies, just need supply.
Steen, Reeves, off the ground, Ward, D'Ambrosio, up to Newcomb. Newcomb's touched ball. I think Ned's got it. Reeves, kick and a half from goal.
Come out with me, please. Come out with me. Nick, move out. Move on.
Early stages of the final term.
End zone.
Reeves with a sky ball, a speculator. Dear, Weddle.
Yeah, he's looked likely all night. Coming in from the side as a sliding wingman. He gets a matchup he can enjoy and he just times his run to fly. Just gets rid of crisp at the start of that run. And he's a presence in the air.
He's excellent. Wow. He's excellent at floating across in front of a pack as well. The pack's established and Weddle comes in and uses them as a block on his opponent. He needs to finish here.
Let's kick one behind. Josh Weddle make his presence felt early. Not at this stage.
Let's let him down tonight. His skills. It's a really gettable goal at a really important time in the game.
11-12 to 2 goals 3. Weddle does well, pops up, but gives away a free kick.
Around on your mark, Jack. Yep. Don't make one. Outside 5.
Big miss early from Hawthorn. Crisp's having to give up ground all the way back to Frampton. He's had a good battle tonight with Mitch Lewis. Spreads it out wide, nicely weighted. Get it in front of Impey. So Collingwood possessing the ball on the outer side.
Move it on.
Very tight on the boundary line. Too tight.
So Hawthorn have dominated the clearances, 31-16. Which you'd expect given the absence of Scotty Pendlebury in there to manage the troops.
So Ruckman Reeves dispossessed. Lipinski to Nick Dacos. And then a little bunt. Battle with the fist. D'Ambrosio overruns it. Long picked it up. D'Ambrosio grabs him, ball it up.
Crafty spoil there from Battle. He knew that Sidebottom was standing at the front of the contest. Needed to make sure he got it past them back to where his numbers were on defence.
Reeves and Steen. Reeves won it down, but the boundary line is too close.
Rucks, Ned, Oscar.
Collingwood by 17 at quarter time, 5 at half time. Hawthorn pitched the lead, literally a second on the clock to lead by 2 points. And an early miss from Weddle. Rocket hand pass missed everyone. Sicily taps it in front of himself. Didn't want to take possession, eventually does.
Yeah, it was a quick whistle there from the umpire, and the Pies nearly thought they had D'Ambrosio done.
Well, he put out the arm to fend. So I'd like to know what the explanation is.
Clear the rucks, please.
Reeves and Steen go at it again. Reeves goes himself, floating ball to Watson. Couple of showreel highlights from Watson tonight.
Got 15.
Ambrosio's kick to Eamon. Called to press on with the job. Long searching ball. Gunston took some contact and took the mark.
It's a clear move. Gunston's right up the ground here. We've seen him at home for the whole start of the season. He's been beaten well. They've made the move.
So Gunston sixth, a slipper into it, and Deere worked his way to the front nicely. The entry kick inside 50. It's going to be really wide. Ginnivan almost marked it on his chest. Crisp kept it in. Houston, Quaynor under a little bit of pressure. Back out to Crisp. Crisp threads the needle. Maynard back to Crisp, but here come the Pies.
Brilliant work from the Pies. Now they can go up through the middle of the MCG. Lipinski sets it out in front of Sidebottom. Perfect in front of Amon. Be careful on the mark, Carl. The Pies want it deep. He's happy to take some off it. Really short to Elliott, who had a quick glance at the umpire. So the distance is okay.
You've just got to be very careful with your complaints. You might cost 50 metres, but we talk about people have ice running through their veins. This man, would you want the ball in anyone else's hands?
The number 5, 357 career goals, 10 this season. Knows how to deliver in clutch moments, does Jamie Elliott, to retake the lead for Collingwood. He was only ever going to do one thing, Jamie, and that was to snag it. Collingwood back in front. Elliott's got a couple.
What a finish. What an absolute finish. I mean, this man, he's done it time and time again. I wasn't sure whether the kick was 15 metres, but you make the umpire make the decision. Mark inside forward 50 and an excellent finish from Jamie Elliott. So the Lab have got it, Kingy. We'll find out whether it was 15 from still side bottom. 14.7. The benefit of the doubt to the umpire there, but what a kick.
Always trust the Lab, Jack. And that was off the back of an errant kick inside forward 50 for Hawthorn from Deer, and didn't they make them pay? Just counter-punched at speed. It was Sidebottom who just thought his way through a sticky situation, waited for Elliott to lead back. Experience, can't beat it.
Another lead change, Collingwood by 3. Reeves pats it down. Nash, free kick.
17-4 now, it'll be out of the middle. I haven't seen a mauling like this in a long time.
So, Anderson, the free kick against him. Nash to McDonald. And then short up the spine to Moore. So ignores the lead. Gunston charging ahead. So Moore props it up in the Lewis direction. Frampton, little nudge in the back, came back towards Lewis. Tries to manufacture the pass to Gunston. He wraps up Anderson, ball up.
There was 2 really good leads there. Gunston was on. It's the first time we've been able to see him get out tonight. So was Lewis. Had to prop and stop there.
Reeves. A lot of players around the footy.
Just got absolute wizard watch here. Isaac Quaynor's the man with the task at a forward 50 stoppage here. Putting a lot of work into him off the ball.
Do you want to get him away from the contest? Watch for the blocks. Reeves, Ward, Nick Dacos, Reeves, right to the teeth of goal. It's a point.
Well, Collingwood have gone inside 50 25 times for 13 goals, so that's just over 50%. We've gone back 15 years, and there hasn't been a team that's converted at that rate. We'll keep looking though, Howie.
Houston's had his fair share of it with 26 disposals. 2-on-2 side bottom. McStave can't quite stave off the Hawks that time. Sicily. So a bit stagnant. Bereft of options. So drives it long. No mark, Houston. Lewis was there for a moment. Watson's hovering. Quaynor hatches over him. Ball up.
Very close there, Nick Watson. He tried to draw that free kick in the back. Quaynor wearing him very, very closely here.
He's chasing him. Not impactful as yet. Ball still to be won.
Just watch this stoppage and just have a look at how many Collingwood players are looking for where Watson is. They know the blocks are coming. It's causing chaos.
Reeves taps it towards Nash. Long picked it up and then just bunts the ball out and releases the pressure valve just for now.
Barris to reset. The Hawks keep pumping it inside 50 and Collingwood keep repelling up the other end. Collingwood so efficient. Barris, just another one drop forward. More in good position. 3 Pies spoil each other. Danger. Somehow they extricate themselves again. Long does that. Barris coming back with the flight. Ripped off the football. Advantage paid the way of the Hawks.
Scrimshaw, quiet night to his standings, out to battle. So they horseshoe it through the back line. D'Ambrosio, McDonald's, Moore calling for it, goes further afield, Gunston, Moore then runs on by, stops, has a think about it, touched, wobbly ball, it won't be a mark, Frampton, pats it to Josh Dacos, McGuinness, quick step, McGuinness! No.
Lucky there, Billy. Very lucky.
Josh Dacos favours the members' flank. Barris with a spoil. Well, with no room on Chris.
Darcy Cameron's got to come up here, guys. He is in all sorts at the moment, limping off.
And Moody on the boundary. Keep a close eye on that for us, Cam.
He's sore. He's very sore.
So ball up close quarters to the boundary. Nick Dacos, tumbling ball. It's going to come back.
So they're holding up really well here, the Pies, to the straight line attack from Hawthorn. Long down the line, they look really safe.
Eamon. This is flirting with the boundary as well. Floating ball and battered over the line by Quaynor.
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. They're 2 and 3 up. Still, they are diffusing the problem. Defence first.
Sicily with work done on an ankle. Cameron still with that knee issue from the ruck-on-ruck contest earlier on.
Might be worth throwing Sicily forward when he comes back on.
Meek, too big a body on Steen, who's got the leap. Anderson not being able to burst his way clear.
It's a big 12 minutes for Oscar Steen. Darcy Cameron looked in all sorts when he came off now.
This way.
So the ball really clamped in. Steen won it down to Anderson. He's grabbed by Newcomb.
In now.
Nothing doing. Work continues on Sicily.
Lloyd, let's go.
Meek. Dacos hacked it out. No Mark Buller. Schultz over the top. McStay's got some room. Lopes forward with the football and darts it straight to Elliott.
There's a great handball on the wing. He's read it perfectly, Schultz. Popped it out in front of McStay. 1-on-1 inside 50, and once again they take it inside 50 and they get a chance to score.
6 disposals, 2 straight goals. Jamie Elliott would have kicked this a few times over the journey. From 40 at a crucial stage. Was never going to miss. His third.
Well, the last 3 times that Hardwick has played on Elliott, he's kept him to 1 goal in total. So he's had his measure. Always great to see a champion respond. Like this, when he's needed most, he's come to the fore. Just his smarts, his timing, knowing when to lead, knowing how hard to push back the goal, to cause that defender to take his eye off the ball. It's only a split second, but he loses contain and Elliott just comes back at the kicker. Timing, absolutely perfect. And then the finish, well, what more can you say about this guy?
The worry for Sam Mitchell is when they've broken that line of defence, they've been really exposed. 1-on-1. A lot of forward half turnovers for the Hawks, who've had a lot of time inside their own forward half, 62%. But when they've been broken, they have been broken.
76,632 people loving their night at the football. Big moments coming now. Collingwood could pinch the next. McKenzie's got other ideas. Steps through. Newcomb's got runners. Takes a bounce. Accesses D'Ambrosio on the outer wing. He drops it forward to McGuinness. Who just kicks it out of bounds. Mistakes again for the Hawks.
Put on the line, put on the line.
Ultimate challenge for the Hawks. The final 10 minutes of this. To the wing. Off hands. Steele to Long. He has Hayes running now to Goey. To Goey bends the back. Runs to 49. Schultz dives. trap it.
Exposed again at the front. Hawthorn's point of view. Huge stoppage here. Can the Pies get another one and extend this lead out over 2 goals?
A couple of brothers just having a chat at the footy. Josh and Nick having a spell before the final push. Ginnivan needs to be precise. Puts it out in front of McGuinness. Needs to be better by foot than his last effort. Elects to go by hand. Work to be done here. Too much work. Here come the Pies again. Schultz, nice little step. Loads the ball up. Elliott. Couple of Hawks run into each other. Steen tries to burst his way through. Coming back again, Hardwick off the ground. Steele at ground level. Lloyd, kick doesn't go anywhere.
In the end, it's Barris having to clear. That's a high ball to bring rain as well. No mark taken. Weddle, gang tackled by 3 Pies.
We defend him off and he went over his shoulder.
It was a parliament of Pies as Schultz gets the football to Crisp towards the top of the square. Barris in the front spot again. Some good defensive work in the last 30 seconds.
Well, they know how to close out a game, the Pies. This next 4 or 5 minutes, absolutely critical. They found a way to stop the Hawks on counterpunch. Defensively, they've been brilliant.
5-day break, injured men, stats not going their way, scoreboard currently going their way. Pies up by 7. No clear exit for Hawthorn. Scrimshaw, can he build something off half back? Gunston hasn't kicked a major tonight as yet. Now Impey. Ward's got a runner in McKenzie. Feeds him. McKenzie sends it deep forward. Mitch Lewis sandwiched by a couple of Pies. Keeps it in. McDonald centering. Looking for McGuinness. He's got work to do. Tracking back. Here come a couple of Pies. Ginnivan keeps his feet. Lipinski gets away and Collingwood fans love it.
Schultz with the football. Now to Buller.
Got Barris on the wing again. So this is perfect for the Pies.
Crisp. Some urgent scenes on the bench as Dacos runs onto the field of play. Long set himself, down to Buller. Nick Dacos immediately into the action. No one really to pass it to. Anderson went without it. Then Steen to Dacos. Goes towards the corridor. It's a dangerous kick though. D'Ambrosio to Scrimshaw. So the Hawks on the slingshot down towards half forward and McDonald.
Moore patrols the mark. McDonald's got a couple.
So many Pies numbers back there. You can see they would generally be a fast play, but they've retreated so well to defend the lead up.
Haven't been hard hit players on the lead. This time they still can't. Too much on it for Mitch Lewis. McGuinness supplies the tackle. Collingwood. Parker didn't really get much purchase on the handball. McKenzie. Battle. Pokes it forward. Couple Hawks. And again the Collingwood defenders stand up. Maynard the Braveheart.
He's been unbelievable with the little things, Maynard, tonight. Defensively outstanding. His effort through the roof.
So a big finish ahead of 76,500 people here. Battered down, Quaynor, Maynard. He's done some great things tonight, dances around his opponent and out to Schultz.
Trainer's down and all down. Hopefully all is okay, doesn't look good. Back to the game.
It would look weird getting a trainer to a trainer.
He needs one. Collingwood, long ball down the line. Weddle, massive contest. They crash into each other. Schultz and Weddle. Umpire says it's going to go the way of Schultz. Thankfully, the trainer's off the ground. All happening, as Bill Laurie would say at the MCG.
You want to clear up, now you stand.
Schultz, Dacos, centering ball. Anderson with a few to beats. Meek had his name written all over it.
Sicily's come back off, guys. He doesn't look well either.
So Cam Mooney just reporting Sicily off the ground for the Hawks as battle of a standing start. It's a kick and hope. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to the Hawks.
They just can't move, the Hawks. They can't run. Their forwards can't reset.
Nash, Impey. Collingwood has led the majority of the night. Ginnivan's got some room ahead. Now takes the bounce. Runs out of room. There's nothing happening forward. Back to Ginnivan. Pumps it long. There's Jack. Gunston. McDonald. Finally the Hawks have some accuracy. He's got three. And it tightens up again to a 1-point game.
Jack Gunston, new star. How good was that? He orchestrated the whole thing. Took the ball from the wing and just thought his way through the whole play. Just have a look at him here. There's really nothing on if he goes quickly. So he just draws the Collingwood defence forward. Slips a little handball through and gets it back. And then he's got Gunston in the square. He can't get it to him. He's had Jack Ginnivan set the whole thing up.
He's the only one running at the moment. His work rate from Ginnivan, the creator, you can see. He knew that he'd sold Mackenzie a lemon and he had to get back and make sure that he helped him out. He remained with him there. You can see Sicily potentially off for the rest of the game there. Opportunistic for the Hawks.
Collingwood by 1. Reeves just bunts it with the boot. Crisp had it for a moment along the ground. Ginnivan can't control it. Nick Dacos, side bottom. Lipinski, they're all there. Mackenzie did well to win the football back. And then Ginnivan, Eamon, Weddle, hard ball to control and over.
Gee, the Pies would love to have Scott Pendlebury out there right now, the general.
What about the effort without him? This is amazing what they've been able to do tonight. Collingwood win, lose or draw.
Nervous watcher, Pendlebury. Typically cleans the house when it gets tight. She'll be spotless tonight at the Pendlebury place. Very tight game of football. Hawthorn, snag it back. Wobbling ball forward. Darcy Moore through him. Here comes Watson. Billy! Oh, watch out, Billy! Somehow got rid of it. Don't know how, but he did. And Collingwood survive again.
Wow. Oh, watch out. Gee.
Side bottom, Dacos. They wax along the wing. Then skies one. Hawks have the numbers. Front and centre, Schultz, along with Steen. Comes to Ngoe. He's grabbed by Weddle, holding the football. Hawks win it back. Ginnivan, he's grabbed. It's absolute chaos here at the G. Steen pummels the handball. Schultz, further afield, side bottom.
50.
It's going to be a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah.
Crucial stage at 4.5 to go.
Yeah, it was there. He was out of tickets, Mackenzie, and he just went so slowly. Their effort on the wing here to just stay in game and tackle after tackle after tackle. You just see him here run into the protected area. He stays on the arc. There, gone. Good call, umpire. It's there.
Still side bottom's 18th year in AFL. You couldn't have the ball in too many more experienced players' hands. Still side bottom to put the buffer to 7. That's the assignment. Through it goes.
It's all about moments late in games like this. And this was an absolute moment here. Billy Frampton done. Nick Watson with the tackle. You can make a case that is holding the ball. At the other end, though, this is why the 50-metre protection zone was brought in exactly for this. Players come into this place here to try and prevent the 45 kick there, and that is 50 metres. Still side bottom. Makes the most of it. It's a 7-point lead now.
Collingwood hanging tough, up by 7. Under 5 on the clock. Now Hawthorn need to respond. They've been dominant out of the middle all night. Newcomb, they'll get another clearance, Kingy. Back to Newcomb. Shins it, a chaos ball. Houston is up to the chaos. To go, he does well to gather it. Clears it. Long. Barris with a fist.
It's 19-5 out of the middle. They've been unbelievable out of the centre square, the Hawks, but the Pies back 6 have just found a way.
Just see that key interchange remaining. Hawthorn only have one. Sicily back on with that ankle strapped again.
Doesn't that add an extra twist?
Going forward.
3:46 left on the clock.
Weddle free behind the ball as well, Hawthorn playing full back.
Side bottom, toe poke, works, Schultz. Nick Dacos charging, runs laterally, has a bounce. Inside attacking 50, floating ball. Weddle there to retrieve. Eamon under pressure, fumbled. Elliott was there to gather. Stacks on, and the umpire wants it.
They think with Weddle going behind the ball, obviously they're 2 goals down at the moment, generate some run from the back line.
Reeves. Newcomb bursts through off the ground. Massive moment in the game now, middle of the ground. Moore scoops it up. The Hawks have got some run. Needs to get rid of it, Mitch Lewis. Shinned it forward. Quaynor came back with a flight, took the mark.
They'll take some time off the clock here. Uncontested marks. They'll try and give them 2 enemies, the scoreboard and the clock. Run it down to 2 minutes if possible.
So kick to kick, as you called Kingy, Maynard.
They got Weddle. They got Weddle free, so Weddle has to come all the way up the field.
Maynard, long full penetration on the kick. McStay had plenty of it, scooped it up to Elliott, gets it to Hayes. Hayes looks inboard and then floats a mung kick. No one forward of the football, it's just a rolling, tumbling pill. Impey gathers, and then towards
2:20, Hawthorn needs something from this foray. Moore looks to the middle, there's no run ahead, so he has to drop it back. Collingwood well set up behind the footy. The Hawks through Nash. Now Amon, very short. Under 2 minutes on the clock. The forwards want it in there deep. They go that way, it favours the Pies, and Houston off Sicily, who's in trouble with the ankle. Take your time, Dan.
Just have to ask whether it's the right move to put Sicily back on the ground. He cannot move.
He's had a night, Houston, 31 touches. McStay.
Now they'll do the same thing again. Slow it down. Find an uncontested marking target lateral if you can. If not, long wide.
Clock a real enemy for the Hawks. McStay's kick to the congestion. No mark. Schultz had a fair bit of it. Ward along the ground. Nick Dacos. Buller with a little tap to side bottom. Pinched by Hardwick. Impey tries to thread the needle. Little fend off into the middle. Final throws here for the Hawks. Newcomb. McKenzie through the centre. Here they go through Battle. Battle's long, penetrating ball. They're desperate for a mark. Sicily's there. No mark taken. Watson couldn't quite pick it up, but he got it to McDonald. His kick was smothered. Spat out towards Lewis. Nash. D'Ambrosio. No.
Important point.
Find a mark. Just got to find a mark here. They're fanning wide the Pies. Frampton's going to the pocket. One uncontested mark will shut it down.
Meanwhile, the Hawks need a goal to draw it. Here's the moment of the match. Who can bring it down, if anyone? Barris can. 34 seconds. Dishes it off. Ward. Hawthorn need a mark. Bounces off. Moore's gone high. And it could be close, if not on, if not after the siren, to tie it all up at the MCG.
Wowee. Tom Barris was the one that took the mark. Darcy Moore should have swallowed it. We've seen that multiple times tonight. Pies players flying against each other and spilling the ball. And there's the free kick.
Inaccuracy has cost the Hawks all night. To bring a tied game, Dylan Moore, 35 out, directly in front. Tie! It's a draw! It's 2 points each. On one of the games of the season, the MCG is alive. No one knows what to do. The debate will go on about extra time, etc. But both teams will walk away with 2 points. They couldn't kick straight all night, the Hawks. Dylan Moore had the opportunity and did just that.
What a game.
Well, how are we feeling about what we've just seen?
Oh, amazing. I take my hat off to all 23 players of the Pies and the coaching staff to put this performance with the artillery on the sidelines is outstanding. They had them. They had them. They'll feel like they dropped 2 points here. They just had to find a way to get that ball to ground, which they'd done all night. Harris had been a non-factor, really.
Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied walking away with 2 points each, Jack? Or would you like to see something else happen here?
No, I think a draw's a draw. We've played for 120 minutes and we can't split the teams. You can pick through the stats and make a case for both sides, but ultimately this was the moment at the end of the game. The free kick, more on more. Some people will want more footy, but Dylan Moore still had to go back and kick this goal. And this was a huge moment. The siren went on the way in, didn't stop, didn't reset, and didn't miss. Importantly for Hawthorn, 2 valuable points, and they were staring down the barrel of 0.
First ever draw between the two teams. We go back to 40 seconds on the clock. Who's going to take the mark? Tom Barras hasn't been able to do those intercepts all night, Kingy. He takes the mark, spits it back in.
Yeah, and they got everything they were after there on that final play, the Pies. They just had to find a way to get that ball to ground. Couldn't quite get it done, and what a special night. I love a draw. I think it's fantastic.
Cameron Mooney.
Well, thank you, boys. Jack, we got the draw. Probably not what you're after, but that was one hell of a game.
Yeah, get out of jail free card for us. Yeah, they sort of watched it in the end. We got lucky and Morey kicked that goal, but better than a loss, so we're happy. It's good on the bench, Morey slotting that, and yeah, we'll take the 2 points.
Do you feel like you dominated the game and probably didn't get the result in the end?
Yeah, I think so. Like, we're probably all over them, but they're a quality defence. Like, we just couldn't really chip through them or get through them. Their back six is obviously elite. They've premiership players down there, so they're a good side. Always hard to beat, and the draw bizarre. I think that's the first draw I played it.
How was it playing against the old mob still? You still copying it from the fans? They still love you?
Yeah, a bit of chirp, which is good. Down back, Billy and Isaac and stuff. It's always fun playing against them, and they're mates forever, so it's good fun.
What about you guys in the centre today? I mean, tonight you guys were just phenomenal in there. Absolutely smashed them through the centre clearances, but as we know, you just couldn't quite put it on the board.
Yeah, I feel like every time we play a side, they kick straight 15-3 to 13-15. So, maybe we should have got away with 4 points. But, yeah, the midfield was great. Nuke's been a lead all season. He's probably a Brownlow contender. And, it's good to see him dominating.
Take the draw, or do you want extra time?
Obviously, extra time would be great. Imagine all the fans, an extra 5 minutes, golden goal or something would be nice, like soccer.
Love it, Jack. Good on you, brother.
Well, the debate will be renewed once again. I would like to see someone walk away as a win, Jack, but some people will be happy with the draw. Someone would like shots from 40. Some would like golden goals. Some would like 5 minutes each way. At the end of the day, 2 points each.
Played in 7 of them, Howie. And they were all very interesting finishes. I remember Nathan Brown celebrated after a draw.
He did.
I think players are very conscious not to celebrate down there. Cam Mooney has another on-ground interview, and we've had one from Hawthorn, and now we'll get one from the Pies.
Yeah, down here with the skipper, Das. I mean, I just spoke with Jack Ginnivan about not the result you probably wanted, but a draw's a draw, and how you feeling?
Yeah, sorry, excuse my language.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it feels pretty raw, mate. Felt like we did so much right to win that game and get the 4 points, but instead we walk away with 2. So that's footy sometimes, and It stings, mate, but a lot to like out of that game for sure.
Your defence, we just saw the stats up there as just said they almost doubled you in inside 50s. So the fact that you guys held on so well down there, I mean, you must be extremely proud of your back six.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely felt it from the first 5 minutes of the game. Just felt like they were really peppering the 50s. So we had our work cut out, and I think, we're pretty proud of how we defended. But we just needed to defend a little bit better to get the 4 points. So it's mate, it feels pretty raw right now. But like I said, there's a lot to take away from it.
Billy Frampton's game, I mean, he's just coming leaps and bounds every time I see him.
Yeah, isn't he? He's going so well. It's excellent. So proud of him. He works so hard, and he just looks really confident, doesn't he? He's just playing with great speed. So tonight clearly I spent a lot more time deep on the deepest Hawthorn forward, so that gives him the chance, a bit higher up the ground to go to work, and he just did a great job.
I'm not sure if you know, like when you're playing, sometimes you don't know, but you had a lot of guys injured, so the fact that you guys could hold on and play out that game, you must be very proud of this group.
Yeah, look, it's a proud group, and we got a lot of experience, a lot of experience together, which is important. So we know we can draw on that. Obviously, Pez is one of our favourite teammates, and he went down. So plenty of sore bodies. So off a 5-day break as well. So don't have anything else to say, mate. Yeah.
I'll ask you, draw or extra time?
I don't know. Ask the fans.
Good on you, brother.
Well, Kingy, you go deeper into the stats machine than anyone in the history of football. What are the stats telling you tonight?
Well, the stats are telling you that Collingwood scored with such efficiency, they're always going to have low inside 50 volume. Every time it went in, they scored a goal. So 15 goals from 34 entries is a number that I cannot recall seeing. You just don't see teams score with that efficiency against a back six of the calibre of the Hawks. Now, we were talking about it in the pre-game. They're the best one-on-one defence in the competition. They're the best support defence in the competition. So to do that is a work of art from the coach's box. So I think Craig McRae, whilst everyone's disappointed about splitting 4 points, I think he'd secretly say, you know what, this is a special effort from my group. Yep, we blew it in the last 20 seconds. We haven't managed the last 2 minutes of some games lately well at all. And again, they'll probably kick themselves for that. But you can't help but be proud of what they've been able to do tonight.
So 40 seconds on the clock. Collingwood have the ball. They needed one mark.
Yeah.
Take this mark, they win the game. They've got away from the Hawthorn interceptors all night, but in the last moment, Barras is able to do that, Kingy.
Yeah, and look, I'd love to see it 3 or 4 times, because if I said to Dan McStay, this is the last kick of the game, I just need you to get the ball to ground, I guarantee you that he would fight the fight harder than what he is under fatigue. That mark is huge. And this is just a free kick under panic. It happens. That can happen. You can't hold Darcy more responsible for that. That's just the way it is. But that contest in front of us on centre wing, for Barras to be able to mark that ball, gives them a chance to win. Otherwise, it's game over to the Pies.
How good's the footy, Jack? How good is the footy?
Draw.
We come here with 76,500 people on a warm August evening. Everyone goes home a little bit confused, but they know they've seen something pretty special.
Yeah, we saw our great game played in 2 different ways and end up with the same amount of points. So see a smile on Craig McRae's face there. I think he'd be absolutely ecstatic about the performance, and knowing Craig from his Richmond days, the outcome is not always the focus. Yes, that's what the media look like, but he would look at today and go, that is a big tick for Collingwood pushing forward into this season to be able to do what they did without Scott Pendlebury. Now, that is a question that will be asked, is Pendlebury worth 1 point? Well, you think he probably is. So he'd be proud of their output tonight, but I'm sure he'd be asking the question of whether they should have played Scott Pendlebury or not.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I know what you're saying, but let's just respect the performance, because they lost Perryman halfway through the second quarter, whose assignment was Watson. And Watson become a significant factor in this game. I just think you look at the effort of their back six to stand up under 62 inside 50s. The ball coming out from centre bounce was unbelievable. I'm not sure what the number finished up. It finished up something like 20 centre bounce clearances to 5. So to fight the fight like that, they'd be incredibly proud of. I think the Hawks would be disappointed they weren't clinical enough in the forward half of the ground to kick a big score. And all the numbers say Hawthorn should have won, but it really wasn't about numbers, because they were so dangerous when they went forward. And we talk about how old Collingwood are. There were times where Elliott knew exactly what to do. Side bottom knew exactly what to do. Behind the ball, Moore set them up perfectly. Frampton was really good. So you can look at it both ways, but I just think in the end, the numbers are irrelevant. That they won this on grit and effort. Didn't win it. I keep saying won it. They drew this. They get 2 points each. Collingwood drew this on grit and effort, and that can take you a long way this season.
Still side bottom. Hopefully that hand is okay where he was trodden on by Finn McGuinness. So there is the ladder. Obviously so much to come. Fremantle take on the Dogs tomorrow night, and then Adelaide take on Port Adelaide on a double header on Fox. There's a nice big post game coming your way. You going down the rooms? What have you got for us, Giggy?
Duck down for a couple of hours.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, just remember there are 3 results in our game: the win, the loss, and the draw. I know it's different in finals, different in grand finals, but in the home and away we do have 3 results available. So let's respect that.
All right, quick break here. Matty, you would have called boxing somewhere along the way, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, I have, and loved it too.
Oh, you better get us to the break.
Well, Fox is the place for boxing. Don't worry about that.
What have we got
We had a couple of title fighters slogging it out tonight, didn't we? Of course, Takeda Zoo's coming up very, very soon. So if you like it with a little bit of sting in it, boxing's your place on Fox. There you go.
All right there. How was that, folks? I tell you what a fantastic final term where it was ended up in a draw, kick after the siren. Wow, 15-3-93, 13-15-93 the Hawks. It was a draw, and of course, I think as you heard with the interview of Darcy Moore, I think he was a little bit discouraged because he knew his last efforts when he dropped that chest mark. That would have been game over, and then he took was it Kalshadir, I think it was, high. Gave the Hawks a chance to get back to a draw. But that final kick out, the Pies should have just put that over the boundary, or at least put it to a scramble. Both sides won here. It was a draw, 2 points each. I tell you what, so close. Should have got the job done. But there we go. Look, it's probably a fitting result. I know both teams will be disappointed, but both teams played really good football tonight. The Hawks looked really dangerous, and it looked like the Pies are going to get up. But I don't know. What do you want? Do you want extra time, or are you happy with the draw, the 2 points each, or you want to see a winner come out of the game? It's really hard to know. It's all right to say, I want extra time, but if your team loses, you go, why didn't they just stick with the draw? We know extra time is there in the finals, but for the home and away season, as I said, a draw is on the cards there. And of course, strangely enough, both teams will move up the ladder. Just checking out the goal scorers for the game. And of course, leading the goal scorer for Hawthorn, Connor McDonald ended up with 3 goals. Nick Watson, Mitch Lewis with 2. Reeves, Newcomb, Moore, Jack Ginnivan, Cash Ladia, who kicked the drawn goal, and Massimo D'Ambrosio singles for the Hawks. For the Magpies, Jamie Elliott topped their table with 3 goals. Will Hayes with 2 with Jordan Nagawi. Oscar Steen, side bottom, Schultz, Daniel McStay, Braden Maynard, Nick Dacos, Jack Buller, Angus Anderson, singles to them. Just looking at the disposal getters, there we go, Nick Dacos. He'd come to the fore. He had a reasonably good last quarter. Well, he had 34 touches, 18 kicks, 16 handballs, 4 marks, 5 tackles, 4 clearances and a goal. I tell you what, I did notice tonight, him. I haven't quite seen him miss so many targets like he did tonight. There we go. So hopefully next week against the Catters, he'll be back on target. And of course, Sydney, next week for the Collingwood fans, Pendlebury will be playing next week. Scotty Pendlebury will equal the record, 432 games, I believe. He'll be playing that against Geelong. He'll be taking a week off when the team travels to Sydney. And of course, Scotty Pendlebury will be the record breaker of games, all-time high record, 433. He will play that at the MCG against the West Coast Eagles. All right, that's come out a little bit earlier, just before the game started. So Scotty Pendlebury breaking the record against West Coast. So he'll have this week off. He'll play next week, a week off, and then he'll come back, and it should be a good win for the Pies against West Coast Eagles, and it can be well celebrated. Dan Houston Next best on 32 for the Magpies with 19 and 13, a pretty good game for him. Carlamon was the best for the Hawthorn, 30 touches, 20 and 10, one clearance. They were the only three players in the top with 30 possessions out on the ground. It was a well-shared ball by all out on the ground this evening. Jai Newcomb, 28, McDonald, 28, Jarman Impey, Mackenzie, 27-24, Jack Ginnivan, 24, Jack Chris for the Pies, 24, Josh Dacos, 23. Some thought he might have had the ring-a-ding-ding game, but he just had the 23 there. Sicily, there we go. Looked like he was at his ankle strapped. He looks like, you never know whether he'll get up for next week or not. We'll just have to find out. There we go. We're just going down there. Dylan Moore ended up, I think it was actually Dylan Moore, wasn't it, who kicked the final goal to make it a draw. Jordan DeGoey with 18 disposals. Nick Watson ended up with 15. A couple of goals there for him, one clearance. Ned Reeves for Hawthorn, 15 touches, the big ruckman. 1 goal, 23 hit-outs, 3 clearances. So pretty good. Darcy Cameron, one of the opposing ruckman doing the job out there. 14 touches, 13 hit-outs, 3 clearances. And, of course, Oscar Steen with 10 hit-outs as well. Lloyd Meek also for the Hawks, 17 hit-outs and 4 touches. Just having a quick look at the team stats. If you want to have a little bit look at that, there we go. What's that about? 85, 75 plus disposals, and, of course, to the Hawks, but the inside 50s, 34. What were the scoring shots? There we go. Collingwood went inside their forward 50, 34 times for 15 goals, 13. 62 times for the Hawks inside forward 50 for 13 goals, 15. 18 scoring shots to 28. So their efficiency was really good going inside forward 50 at 55.9%. Now, look, both teams were pretty good efficiency around the ground up at disposal at 77. That was good. Free kicks, pretty tight. It was a reasonably well umpired final quarter. So 23-26, Hawks were +3, but they did win the hit-outs by 17, and the clearances the Hawks absolutely dominated. 23-39, +16, but it was the centre clearances the Hawks did a lot of the damage, so it was fantastic defence from the Magpies, especially when you consider Hawthorn got 19 centre clearances, just 5 to the Magpies, +14. They'll certainly have to have a look at that, the Magpies. Contested possessions were +29 to the Hawks. Got on top in that department. Uncontested, they were +62. The marks were pretty tidy. Marks inside forward 50, both teams hit it pretty well. That's not too bad for the Pies, who went in about 35 times, wasn't it, for 11 marks. So they hit a mark inside forward 50 once every 3 times. And the Hawks, 12 inside forward 50 marks. Just looking at this defensive, what I always like to have a look at their tackle count when it just loads up. There we go, 53-45. Still a little bit low for both teams. Still like to get that up around the 60 mark for both teams, or a little bit more. Tackles inside 50, a little bit low as well. Just 3 to the Pies, 8 to the Hawks. Taking us to the ladder, and we see, let me reload this up. There is the ladder. Strange enough, remember, if Hawthorn won, Hawthorn went first, and Collingwood went down to 9th. If Collingwood won, Hawthorn would have been 3rd, Collingwood would have been 4th. But with a draw, folks, Hawthorn go on top of the ladder just by that draw. The 2 points now, 2 points. So Hawthorn could drop down to 3rd if Sydney and Freo win. Collingwood up to 5th. So it could be a vital 2 points there for the Magpies. Look, a win would have been better, but that takes them up in the 5th spot for Magpies. Played 8, won 4, lost 3 with 1 draw, and of course Hawthorn flying played 8, 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. That is your ladder, and of course games coming up, folks. Let me just let you know about the games coming up still this weekend. We've got some ring-a-ding-ding games. Friday night football, the Western Bulldogs taking on Fremantle. And Friday night also, you got Adelaide taking on Port Adelaide. Saturday, some interesting games coming up there, folks. Essendon taking on the Brisbane Lions at Marvel Stadium. Can Essendon, can they hit back? They usually go reasonably okay at Marvel Stadium. Then we've got West Coast taking on Richmond. Another fascinating game there. And, of course, Saturday afternoon, Geelong taking on North Melbourne at GMHBA Stadium. That's going to be a cracking game. And Saturday night, Carlton taking on St Kilda. you would expect St Kilda to win that game. And of course, a couple games on Sunday, Sydney taking on Melbourne, you'd think that would be a close game, but although the way Sydney are, you think they'd win. And of course, the Gold Coast taking on GWS Giants. That is going to be a cracking game on Sunday. Next week for these two teams, for Collingwood and Hawthorn, as I said, it's going to be a pretty tough game next week. Of course, next Saturday evening is going to be a classic game, the MCG, where Collingwood will take on Geelong. And of course, it's going to be just as tough for Hawthorn next week. Of course, next Thursday night football, it's the Hawks taking on Fremantle Dockers over there at Optus Stadium there in Perth. So I tell you what, some big games coming up for Hawthorn and Collingwood next week. But I tell you what, tonight's game was an absolute ring-a-ding-ding game. I tell you what, the poll we had, who's going to win, it was 52% the Maggies, 48% the Hawks. That was close. I tell you what, yeah, if they had that last kick out from goal, it could have been a different story. But there we go. That's how tight it was. 54 votes. Well done, everyone. I tell you what, fantastic game. Hey, thanks to everyone for coming in. Lily and Gusk and Manny, Addie G, Alicia Mean. Cheers for all coming on in. Of course, everyone who popped on in. Of course, Nathan was in there earlier. Was a Hawk supporter. CNAD was in there. He was a Collingwood supporter. Lots of different supporters in the house tonight. And of course, from a Collingwood supporter here, well, it's a little bit, look, reasonably happy. Got to be happy with the way both teams played tonight. And a little bit sad that we let that one go. But there we go, after leading most of the game. But you know what? A draw is better than a loss, and it could be certainly vital 2 points coming to the end of the season when finals are being battled for and who can get where. All right, folks, hey, that's all I've got for this one. Don't forget, tomorrow night, and we should be covering maybe a little bit of that game, I would imagine. Of course, Western Bulldogs taking on Freo. I should be probably covering the second half of that game for Addie G out there. So it'll be interesting game. Marvel Stadium, can Freo do it on the road? We'll certainly find out. Or can a depleted Western Bulldogs fight back and get their snarl back in their bite? We'll have to wait and see until tomorrow night. All right, folks. Hey, it was a fantastic game here today at the MCG. An absolute ring-a-ding-ding. And I think they said it was the first draw between these two clubs. I'll tell you what, it was a well-deserving draw. I imagine, look, both teams played fantastic football. Look, both teams, they gave it their all. There was no shirking the contest. There was no giving up. Both teams had a red-hot crack, and that's all you can ask. So a draw probably in the end was not too bad. All right, folks, that's all I've got for this one. Hey, thanks everyone for coming in. And until next time, ciao for now, and we'll see you at the next game.